Let's do it.
Hi everyone! I am joined today by the ever famous Grandmaster Daniel Gormally and another close friend of ours, Nicholas Scuttus. Nick, that we'll call him. And this came about because obviously those of you who've been watching for a while will have seen that Danny adopted me in an adoption match that we played before. And I was like, I want a brother now. So this is a match to see Danny will play Nick in 10 games, and if Danny wins all 10 games, Danny will adopt Nick, and then Nick will become my brother. So do you guys want to just like really quickly introduce yourself?
Yeah, I thought you adopted me, Zoe. Did we play another match after that?
Well, the first match we played, I won a game, yeah.
My memory's so bad. Oh, you mean we played after that and I won, did I?
Yeah.
My name's Grandmaster Daniel Gormally. I'm a GM from England. I currently live in Alnwick in Northumberland. I've got a lot of opinions about chess world. Some of them good, some of them bad. So yeah, follow me on social media and read my books, buy my courses. You know, I'm shameless. Welcome to the shameless world. But yeah, I'm really pumped up for this, Zoe, because I just destroyed a 2400 player on chess.com 10-0. But before that, I was really fuming because I threw away a few winning positions. So I'm really, really up for this. So I can't wait to get on with it.
Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm on my phone because I'm trying to advertise on Instagram. I am Nicholas Scuttus. I am a FIDE arbiter and I am also a FIDE online arena grandmaster. I'm trying to improve my chess and hit 2000. Currently my rating is 1922. I am originally from Cyprus, but I live in Glasgow for the last 6 years. I came here to go to university. I've been studying in Strathclyde University for 5 years. I did 4 years an undergrad in hospitality and tourism management and 1 year a master's in applied economics. In both of them I got a 2-1. Now I'm no longer a student and I'm also a chess teacher, so if you want to hire me, go ahead. Other than that, I'm also a chess arbiter sometimes, and I am also looking to improve my rating even more in the future. I am very grateful for this opportunity, and I'm really looking forward for this match because actually it's the first time I'm going to play a match against someone because yeah, it's just never happened before and it might never happen again unless I get a similar chance in the future. I'm very grateful to Zoe for her channel because it has helped me a lot in terms of motivation, inspiration, also education because it's a lesson from two stronger players than me, and also I mean, since I bumped into her channel, which was from Danny's post on Twitter, I have gained 65 rating points, and I have also taken some valuable advices from both players, like to not be materialistic or to not agree to draws when you're slightly better. So yeah, I'm really looking forward, and I am really grateful to be here.
I'm glad it's not a talking contest because I think I've lost already.
Okay, thank you guys. So what we're going to do is the time control is going to be 3+0, and Danny and Nick will play 10 games against each other, and after each game they will rematch immediately. I'm going to mute myself so they can't hear me, and I'll be sort of commentating on their games. If they wanted to, they could like leave their sound on and talk, but I don't think that would really work. But after the match, we'll get them both back on to analyze a couple of the games that they thought were key and talk about how they felt it went. If Nick manages to get a win or a draw, like before all 10 games have been played, then we'll keep going till 10 games anyway to see what the match score for the fun of it. And to clarify, if Danny wins 10-0, then he will adopt Nick, and Nick will become my brother, seeing as Danny's already adopted me. Okay, so do you guys want to get going? And if one of you challenges the other, Danny's fired up, yeah, Chris.
I'll challenge you now, and I'm ready to write. Okay.
If I lose, I'll probably storm off. So what happens if I lose a game? Do we carry on the match?
Yeah. You carry on 10 games.
I don't like the sound of that.
And you guys need to turn your sound off as well. I'll mute me.
Okay. How do I turn my sound off?
I'll mute
Right.
you all this way.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a Sicilian to start off. We're going to see the famous Naidor from Danny. Danny is known, yeah, Danny's known for being a Naidor player. Oh, they're playing so fast. Playing so fast. Okay, so let's see what he goes for. F4. This is interesting. Personally, against the Naidor, I go for the lines of like F3 and G4. But I guess this is an interesting pawn structure where both sides have an isolated pawn. I suppose white did this F4 move to maybe open the F file and try and get an attack if Danny castles kingside. But I don't think I've really seen this. Like, it shows how little I know about openings that I don't play. Be interesting to see. Yeah, so you castle this side. So the F file's open, but this pawn seems pretty solid at the moment, defended by a lot of pieces, and the knight's in the way. So I'm not really sure what he can do about that. Could he have grabbed on d6 then? After knight d7? Hang on. Instead of g4, could he not have, like, taken here? Am I missing something really stupid? I feel like perhaps he could have taken. I don't think there were any threats. Okay, he went g4 pretty quickly. Rook c8. Then he took knight c to e5. Was this some kind of trap? Calculated pawn sacrifice by Danny. If this works, then this must be like the most calculated pawn sacrifice ever. Which would be pretty cool. But okay, so Danny's going to try and attack. Nick's currently a pawn up, though it is an isolated pawn, so I can't really say how good it is. But yeah, this is proving exciting. If Nick can hold on here as white and not lose this first game, then I might not be getting an adopted brother today. I can probably turn on the eval bar, actually. There we go. Turn that on. Okay. The eval bar likes black. We always listen to the eval bar. It's never wrong. Yeah, he could have taken. Yeah, we reckon. What do you guys think of this position? Actually, what do you guys think of the match? Do you reckon Danny's going to win 10-0? Will I get another brother today? It'll be interesting to see. E4. Okay, so Danny's full on going for this attack. I guess he wants to try and, like, undermine this c-pawn. Can he not win? He can get back the pawn. Though it does open up the diagonal for the bishop, which is quite nice. Though, to be fair, what does this bishop even do? Because, yeah, well, knight takes now. Queen has to take. It's difficult to see how Danny's actually going to win this, but yeah, the computer does like it for Danny. We need to look at the time situation, because I made them play 3+0 so they couldn't rely on increment, because it's more fun watching them try and flag each other. And Danny does have less time on his clock, so that is worth bearing in mind right there. Yeah. So how does he go about? So he traded queens, but I can't see how he's gonna win this game. I just don't see it. I mean, this is his poor majority. That's not going anywhere. Imagine if this is a draw in the first game. Do we restart the adoption match? Yeah, 95. Yeah, Pre-Malone, do we restart this from game 1? If Danny doesn't manage to draw, am I just not having faith? Okay, rook e1 check, king a2. I guess, yeah, a5 is a nice move. So this is pinned, so he's trying. A4, Nick blundered. You can see Nick's face. Nick realizes he's blundered, but Danny only has 40 seconds. Is that enough time to convert this? I mean, a piece is a piece. We're going to watch some very, very impressive conversion technique here, I think. Rook there. Why didn't he choose rook here? It's interesting. Maybe he's worried about rook c3 or something. Okay, he's going for it the simpler way. He's just stopping this pawn having any chances whatsoever. Yeah, grab those pawns, and now he can just bring his king here, maybe? Oh, did that first, okay. I have to be a bit careful, because he's probably going to have to sack the bishop back at some point, isn't he? Adoption avoided. For now, maybe. for now. This is really impressive technique by Danny though. Notice how he just he blocked off this pawn. He stopped it again. This bishop is stopping it promoting, and he'll take it immediately if he has to. And now he's just going to try and come after this pawn, probably with the rook. Yeah, so he'll sack the bishop, I guess, if we push. F5 comes now. Yeah, because there's no time to take. Yeah, so he has to sack, but now he grabs this pawn. Oh, I don't, yeah, because, okay, this is defended. So rook here takes, yeah. So now we're going to see rook and 2 pawns versus 1 rook, but he's only got 14 seconds. Tell you what, if Danny doesn't manage to convert this in time, maybe I restart the adoption match and give them increment, because this seems hard. 10 seconds to convert this. I wonder if he realizes how little time he's got here. Wow, this is intense. Go for the flag. Yeah, Nick's going for the flag, which would be absolutely brutal. Surely Danny can... Ah, did Nick mean to mouse slip, or was that unintentional? Okay, Danny's got this now. Danny's got this. So 3.9 seconds left on the clock. And game 2 starts. Danny is white this time. Oh, you see a Queen's Gambit accepted. Interesting. You don't see many of these at high level, so this will be quite interesting for any of you out there that play Queen's Gambit accepted. So you can see the match score currently by the name places here. GN Kill Crit is Daniel Gormally, and no face, no name, no number 7 is obviously Nick. So 1-0 to Danny at the moment. Yeah, so this is proving to be quite intense. They're playing so fast, I have no idea. Is this even... Let's flick back through this opening, because I just want to see what happened here. So we had a Queen's Gambit accepted. Normally, against Queen's Gambit accepted, I like the lines where white pushes for e4, like grab the center if we're given it. But Danny chooses this line, and then goes e4. Okay, this seems a bit intense. A quick a4. I presume this is all theory to some extent, because both people were playing extremely quickly, even for blitz. But then Queen G... Yeah, so now we see a load of trades, and suddenly black's position seems... fairly solid. Knight g4. Did Danny miss a tactic here? Did Danny miss the eval bar, like knight takes e6 here? Hey Baz! This is an early time for a match, yeah. I'm also like really ill, as normal. I'm always ill. If you can hear. It's difficult finding a time that everyone, like Nick, Danny and I were all available, but 10 till 11 worked. So early match is, I think, yeah, it looks like Danny missed knight takes e6 here. Some kind of tactical idea, where I guess if they take, I don't know if I can analyze on this. No, I can't apparently. I have to turn off computer evaluation to be able to guess moves. But yeah, Danny missed knight takes e6, where I guess after pawn takes, queen takes, he'd get a very active king and check and probably like win this rook eventually. But yeah, so knight e4 instead, bishop back, then he grabs the b pawn. Knight c3, knight b4, f3, solidifying everything. Knight d5, trade, knight f6. And then this is the live position now we're following. When can you adopt Danny? Do you want an adoption match against Danny at some point? Is everyone going to queue up for adoption matches versus Danny? What's happening now? It's black again now. Interesting. Materials equal. But I guess he's going to take here. No, he wants to go for this pawn instead. Oh. What's Danny doing? This is not looking good. Not looking good for white anymore. Bearing in mind that Danny has to win every single game. He has to win all 10 games to count as an adoption. He can't get any draws. So, okay, but now we can take on h6. Yeah, castling seems, but yeah, you can see from Nick's reaction there, he's not very happy about that. Not very happy about seeing that. And now Danny goes full on h-pawn caveman attack. Mr. Elo says Nicholas should be adopted, and you're still in the 1 to 10 range. Mr. Elo, who's Mr. Elo? I'm intrigued. Mr. Elo, okay. So what's Danny doing? Danny is giving away pawns for nothing, apparently. I'd be a bit scared about this, the c pawn now, actually. if Danny's not careful. I guess he sticks the bishop on c3. Is that the plan? Yeah, so the pawn can't go anywhere. Time situation. Danny's the one slightly up on time this time. We're going to see any dirty flags this match, do we reckon? Why is he not going for f4? F4! F4! He's missed it! He's missed it twice! Okay, now he sees a tactic here. Okay, that's the tactic he was going for. Getting rid of the defender so that he can take on e5. But yeah, he could have played f4 because of the pin. I guess he was just trying to go for something quicker. Going for cheapos. This is how you play for the win. Okay. So now Danny has to finish this off. He's got 1 minute 10 seconds. So the computer says mate in 5 if he'd taken with the queen. He chooses to take with the bishop, and then I presume he's just going to trade queens and then play rook c7 or something. And that to me seems fairly simple. Is there rook d8? Rook d8 as well actually now, because he chose king g. Okay, so white won by resignation again. So, okay, let's flip over and let's see what we get now. So now Danny tries knight c6, that's the Nimzovich defense, isn't it? By the Elo system, Nick should be adopted. Chess and play chess, thank you so much for the follow, really appreciate it. By the Elo system, Nick should be adopted, yeah. Nick had to score 2.5 out of 100. Okay. So that's 0.25 out of 10. Okay, so if I given them 20 games, maybe he would have got 1 draw. But yeah, this is really impressive how Danny's staying so calm under time pressure. I hope this is all like a good lesson for you guys, because it is really, really impressive. He seems to get positions where the computer absolutely hates them, and then he just stays calm and then with no time somehow manages to win it. So what do you guys think of my antlers? I was like, it's December now, we got to go Christmassy themed. Okay. You're at 15.5 out of 100? Interesting. Wait, are you comparing their blitz ratings as their elos? Okay. This knight invades. I like black's position here. I think Danny's done better at getting a decent position this game, but again, he's slightly down on time. But I do like these pieces lining up. I mean, you guys know I love a good attack. You're looking at FIDE. Yeah, Nick's a bit underrated. Oh, new FIDE ratings are out yesterday as well. How are your FIDE ratings looking? Mine's gone up a bit again. I'm up to 1981 now, finally. Getting somewhere. Getting close. Can I get to back over 2000 by next month? That's the question. Okay, he finds some kind of piece that. That's a pretty simple one. Just to show you guys, obviously if he'd taken, Danny would have taken this knight. It's like this G pawn sometimes does too many rolls. That's a very common tactic. But then even after that, like bishop takes h3 and stuff, and it loses pretty quickly. So he moves the king, then we see a trade on d4 knight back. So Danny's just chosen to trade a load of things and remain 1 pawn up and hope that that's enough. We shall see if that is enough. I mean, it looks like a pretty solid pawn. Can't see why it's not enough. You can see by their body language, Danny's starting to look more confident every time he wins a game. Nick's looking quite nervous there. And when Nick blunders, he really, really feels it. Bless him. I know the feeling. Losing 10-0 to Danny is not fun. But I wanted an adopted brother, so extending the family, let's do this. Okay, so let's see, how does black continue here? He just goes to a trip, but now we take on e6, and then you win the pawn back because of the check. So Danny's just blundered the pawn back, and now I'm not so sure, because, yeah, you can take on b5 as well now, maybe. And then it's a bit difficult to come after this pawn, so I'm not sure what's happened there. Jinxie, thank you so much for the follow, I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't like what Danny's done here. Okay, he's going to come after this one, but... Oh, that's a beautiful move by Nick there. Bishop e8, I love it. Maybe that's why the eval bar liked Danny playing c6. Just to stop this plan. And now, actually, I quite like white. That's a monster of a pawn. That is absolute monster. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so Nick, my boy. Jinxie, do you know Nick then? That's nice. Danny's not that good at Blitz. I mean, Danny's fine at Blitz. He's just, I guess, feeling the pressure of like having to win. It's easier when you don't have to win. To adopt someone means that you beat them in 10 games in a row. How can you get adoption games against Danny? Do you guys want the opportunity to have adoption games against Danny? Adoption Sundays, open to subs? I actually love that idea. Do you want more adoption matches versus Danny? How many brothers and sisters can I get at this point? Yeah, if you guys want that, then I'll so make that thing. It would have to be like... Yeah, no. They don't adopt the ones to the team. You just become like a family member. Oh, what's happened here? I looked away at chat for like 5 seconds and suddenly Danny's winning. Hang on. I need to look back and see how this happened. Because this all looked good for Nick back here. He let Danny invade and then traded some rooks off. And then he went for this trade. No, he should have kept the bishops on. Now this should be winning, right? Because I know there's the famous saying all rook and pawn endgames are drawn, but like this pawn's a monster. Then these ones happen as well. He can always like come after this if he really wants to at some point. But yeah, this king is beautifully cut off, can't go anywhere. Yeah, this looks pretty simple. Black one. Yeah, Nick was low on time. That's a beautiful turnaround there then. Okay, let's go. E4. He plays the French. He didn't even want to satisfy me with E4, E5. You're 1200 and Nicholas loves inviting you over to crash you for House of Chess. Maybe you should have an adoption match versus Nick. And then you can become, potentially, Danny's grandchild. Got a beautiful tea here. Highly recommend. Chamomile and honey tea. Because I'm really ill. It makes me feel better. Okay, what opening was this? This was the French, wasn't it? This was the Tarash in the French? I believe. Difficult to say. Interesting. There'll be one thing after all these adoption matches. Exactly. We like that though. For Sub Sunday, maybe we should have adoption matches versus Danny. Or maybe you could choose to have an adoption match against me instead, but I would do very, very badly. I think you should do it against Danny. Who's going to adopt Danny? Yeah, I need a grandfather or grandmother. Maybe we need to get a really big grandmaster in. You reckon we could get Jabava to come and try and adopt Danny? I met Jabava at Europeans actually. He seemed really nice. He was a bit drunk at the time. But my coach introduced me to him because I copied his moves for stuff. Okay, what's going on here? Black is a pawn up. Not entirely sure how. Did that happen out of the opening? It's a bit of a monster of a pawn as well, like. Looks like quite good for an endgame. And black is Nick. So that favours well. But as we've seen already in this match, you want one against me? Baz, you want to try and adopt me? I need a wife for Danny though. You want to be a husband for Danny? Jabava, or there's an Indian guy, V Pranav. Do you reckon we could try and persuade Jabava to play an adoption match against Danny? Because I want grandparents now. I want a really extended family. Yeah. Should we get a family tree going as well? I rate this idea. I think I should make a family tree. And we can you do a virtual one? And then I can share it round. And after every adoption match, we add another name to the family tree. That could be great fun. It'll just make a really, really extended chess family. And then everyone will know how they're related to someone. And then it becomes really awkward of like, what if I become the sister and the mother of the same person? That would be an interesting family tree. Right. Okay. The computer likes G4 or F takes here. The white now, all of a sudden. Not 100% sure why. So if we take... Oh, but Danny's found it. Danny's found this capture. So bishop takes. Then it wants queen b5. So we just use it to bring the bishop. Is Danny going to find queen b5? Okay, no, Danny didn't find queen b5. He still played a decent move, though. Rook f2 still looks decent. White's doing better. Yeah, he could adopt Danny. Lots of people could adopt Danny. Yeah, this is interesting. I think we've seen really, really well how to keep your calm. Danny's up on time again now as well. Oh, now don't we just take... Hang on, why can't we just take here? And then we throw in this check? And we're not getting mated because our king can run. Do we just take? Knight takes, rook takes check. Yeah, Nick's moved his face. Yeah, Nick looks absolutely gutted. Absolutely gutted. Nick probably forgot that the queen wouldn't be attacking this king and wanted some kind of... But even the bishop covers it. I'm not really sure. Blundered a piece somewhere within there. Feels bad. When you're losing every game and you're desperately trying. The thing is, Nick only needs a draw and he's come very close in some of these games. That first game, I was so shocked that Danny managed to win that. But Danny seems to have picked up some momentum and playing more accurately. But still, this is very, very intense to see. Same kind of thing happened in my match, to be fair. I had chances in the earlier games, and then when Danny got the momentum, he just kept crushing me. Absolutely crushing me. Okay. Okay, so now it's just a piece. An entire piece again. And more time. Yeah, this is gonna be 4-0 to Danny. We're almost at the halfway point. This is very, very intense here. Have to see if he can continue. It'd be interesting to see the post-mortem match analysis with him, right? To see if the next start. Ah, you haven't started a prediction, thank you. Was that Baz? What's the prediction? Okay, Norwegian defense. Danny's trying some really interesting openings. Predict with your horsey points. Will Zoe get a brother? Yes. Just to clarify, guys, I actually do already have a brother in real life. Maybe I should play a match against my brother at some point. See if, like, who's better at chess, me or my brother. He'd absolutely crush me if it was blitz. That's the problem. If it was blitz, my brother would win, and if it was standard play, I reckon I'd win. But okay, predict with your channel points. Do you think I'll get a brother? Will Danny win 10-0 against Nick? Bearing in mind he's currently 4-0 up. Got some momentum. Baron von Chicken Pants. Morning. Your first time viewing. Who are the players? The players. So we have Grandmaster Daniel Gormally. You should be able to see him on the screen there as GM Daniel Gormally. And Nick Skatos. So they're both British at the moment. Well, Danny is an English Grandmaster. Introduced himself earlier. As you can see, he is Kill Cruet. So he's currently playing black here. And he's 4-0 up. Nick was originally from Greece, but has moved over to Scotland now. Though I don't know if he's officially changed federation yet. But he lives in Glasgow. And he's been playing lots of Scottish and English events. Could do a DNA test of my brother by making him play an adoption match against Danny. That is a brilliant idea. That is actually a brilliant idea. Does anyone want to see my actual IRL brother play an adoption match against Danny? The thing is, my brother's too strong. There's no way Danny could win 10-0 against my brother at Blairs. I rate this idea. Danny would have to actually train for the match. Can't whip out this random stuff. Up for this. Yeah. So, Nick's FIDE rating, I think at the moment it's only about 1900, but it's going up pretty fast because he started quite low. But he's been playing a lot over the last few months. He's probably, realistically, a fairly similar strength to me. His blitz rating is slightly higher than my one. I'm not very good at blitz. I should do a road to 2000 in blitz at some point. Yeah, it looks like black's winning here. That's a lot of pawns, right? Danny's just making it look even easier. Look at the time. He's a minute up on the clock as well. A minute up. 2 extra pawns. He's got the bishop. He's just making this look far too easy. What's my brother's... My brother is called... it's quite funny. My brother is also called Daniel. Daniel Varney. Still... 1981 now, Baz. I'm going up. I'm getting back up. We'll be over 2,000 soon. I'm getting 2,100 performances. It's just a slow grind to get back up. My brother's FIDE racing, I don't even know what my brother's FIDE racing is anymore. You love watching Blitz, it's too fast for you to play. It's really insane I'm watching this. Yeah, like halfway point now, Danny is 5-0 up. Pretty good timing actually, given I wanted an hour for this match and it's like half an hour in. Has Danny run off somewhere temporarily? I think Danny's put something in. Oh, Danny's run to the toilet. Okay, we'll just give them a couple of minutes break. Wait, while Danny goes to the toilet. I want to see what Nick has to say right now. Nick, while Danny's run to the toilet, do you want to give chat a view of at the moment?
Okay, some games were better than others. I mean, the last one was terrible, and yeah, I remember he played this North Sea defense in the last round in Scarborough. He told me that d5 is crap, but I didn't know why d5 was crap, so that was the problem. The first game was decent, I grabbed that one, but got annihilation, and then the third game was quite decent, and then the second one. The fourth one,
the first few games, you actually had really good chances. The first one especially, I didn't think it was going to be an adoption during the first game, because you were up on time, and then it was just an equal position, and then obviously you blundered the piece, and I wasn't sure if Danny would convert it so low on time. Which is unfortunate. But yeah, halfway point. Had a couple of minutes to recollect yourself. Mute you guys again, unless Danny wants to quickly say something before you guys continue with the second half. I don't know. I'll ask him if he wants to unmute. Because I muted him. No? No, I don't think he wants to say anything. He's not talking. Okay, we'll mute you guys again then. Right. When you're ready, rematch again, and we will continue with the next half of this match. Okay, we should get...
I rematched you, mate.
I don't know what Danny's just like not accepting the rematch for some reason. Ah, we're going. Right. Okay. So d4, knight f6. Trompovsky attack. Interesting. Let's see what happens. You can just about handle a 5+5 game. I hate Blitz myself. Blitz is like absolutely, it's just so tragic. You gotta love this like aesthetically pleasing layout though. It's quite nice having the eval bar. I knew I was watching some of the official chess.com commentary and stuff, and they joke about having like eval bar tournaments. That'd be so much fun. Maybe I should try and do one. Like imagine if you could see the eval bar while you were playing, but you didn't know what the move was. So you just see the evaluation, and then you're like, oh, this is like plus however much to me. There must be a winning move here, and then you look for the winning move. Daniel has 1993. Okay, my brother's 1993 at the moment. He was over 2050 at some point, I think. And I am 1981 at the moment. Those points are very bad. That'd be fun. What are my expectations for this weekend's rapid tournament? Oh yeah. So yeah, for those of you that don't know, which is probably most of you, I am playing the English Women's Rapid Play Invitational 10-player all-play-all thing this weekend. I am officially 9th seed based on like standard FIDE. It's very, very difficult. The only person who is lower than me is a random junior who is a lot better than her rating, who was invited so that they could have a junior player. So I'm basically the weakest one in the field. So who will I play against? So there is Harriet Hunt. Who else have we got? I can count off on my hand. Harriet Hunt, Akshaya. I can't ever pronounce her surname. It's like Kalayahan. She's like one of England's best ever younger players. Louise Head, Audrey, Quay, can't pronounce that. But obviously Audrey I played at the British Women's thing as well. Sarah Longson. How many are we up to? Oh, Katerina Toma. I can't count. Who else? Sheila Jackson. The junior is Julia Volovich. And then there should be another player as well. Oh, and then Lan Yao, who's like from China, has just moved to England. She's like 2300. So basically, everyone's very strong. They're all like, I can show you I'll send a link to the standings at some point. But basically everyone's like over 2100, most of them over 2200, and then I'm just bad. Has Nick just blundered something? Oh. This knight's basically pinned because of the f7 pawn. Yeah, she played Hastings. Yeah, exactly. She played Hastings. She got a draw with Danny, and Danny was mad about it. So basically, it's a very, very strong tournament. But we're gonna go all Christmassy. I'm gonna wear. I've actually got my Christmas sweater on right now, and my Christmas antlers. And I'm gonna try showing up in the board in Christmas antlers and Christmas sweater, and see whether I might get told off for that. See whether I'm loud. But yeah, okay. So now. Danny missed. He needed to play this check and then knight g6 if he the forced mate. But I mean, this must still be winning, right? So bishop f8 has to be played to defend this pawn. And then we'll see how Danny continues. I guess this is gonna drop. So yeah, he just wins a piece. I guess he takes here and then takes on d7. And now he's starting to take off here potentially. So to be fair, okay. White one by resignation. Okay, we're up to 6-0. Danny's not good against women. Yeah, Danny gets distracted. He lost to Micah as well, didn't he, in round 1? Hyper accelerated dragon. Wait, what is this? This is not the hyper accelerated dragon. D6, Queen A5. So Danny's just playing random openings at this point. Maybe we should have made him play E4, E5. Oh, I have an idea. Shall I set up a daily chess tournament where you guys have to start it from E4, E5? Knight F6 is better than taking F8, yeah. Yeah, I think I should do this. An E4, E5 daily chess tournament would be great fun. Yeah. What's happening so far? Why does the eval bar like white so much? Hang on. What's happening? Queen A5, nice. Is it just about piece activity? He's not got any material, has he? Knight H. Oh my god, that knight has gone back to G. Okay, this is Nick's chance, guys. This is Nick's chance. He's like +3 out of the opening. You prefer a D4, D5 tournament? Yeah, but D4, D5 is not really in the whole horsey chess spirit, is it? There's a reason we have an E5 command. I think an E4, E5 daily chess tournament. I say rate this. Maybe I'll set up a chess.com club and then I'll actually make a daily chess tournament. E4, E5. And then we might make one with G4. Maybe I should have one G4 instead. We'll play a grob. We'll play G4, G5 for the bounce. Would it be rated? It depends on what the viewers wanted. I could make it unrated or I could make it rated. I don't really mind. I just think it'd be fun if we do an E4, E5 tournament and then I could enter it as, yeah, C5 passes, yeah. Then I could also enter it as well. And then you guys can have the chance to play against me. You've been learning the Vienna, E4, yeah, E5 works for you. There's no E4 command, that's unfortunate. There's a G4 command, yeah. No, there's an E5 and there's a G4. Time problems for Nick. Yeah, the problem is, Nick was like +3 out of the opening. Because Danny just played a really bad opening. But then Nick's on like a minute less on the clock. There's a lot of pieces on the board. He just doesn't have time to think, like, unless there's some kind of forced checkmate. Bird is the word. Yeah, there's a bird command. There's not an F4 command. They aren't linked to each other. Time problems for Nick. You've been learning the Vienna and eating Viennetta. Viennetta is so nice. I want some Viennetta now. Should I get myself a Viennetta over Christmas? I love Viennetta. It's such a good dessert. I know how to play against the Vienna. But yeah, I'm gonna set up an E45 tournament. Do you guys want it rated or unrated? I'll have to wait. Why did he give up such a beautiful night? What's he doing? No, Nick. No. No, he had some kind of tactic involving this and then sacking and then being able to take on C6. That was the tactic. Knight C5, then taking on D7. Oh no, it even just adds another attacker. Queen C7, then we take on D7. Rook takes, this hangs. He would have won a piece. Instead, he's just given up his knight for nothing. Oh no, that's so tragic. That's so tragic. Now he's low on time as well. He's gonna lose this. He spent too long trying to work out. Yeah, Viennette is very Christmassy. Exactly. Yeah. Extremely Christmassy. Oh my god, that was so tragic. He had such a beautiful position at the opening. He was playing it so well, and then he just like blundered it all. He could have just won a piece. Instead, he's now 3 pawns down and a minute down on the clock. That must feel so bad. He must know. Surely he must know his position was so good as well. Line 1, you'd like to report a murder. Oh yeah, he's butchered this. He butchered that really badly. That's really unfortunate. But I want a brother, so I don't know. So like, on the one hand, it'd be cool for Nick to get some points, but on the other hand, I want a brother. I want to extend my family tree. For the fun of it. I actually do like this idea of sub-Sunday being adoption matches versus Danny, though. I'll have to see if... But the problem is half the Sundays we'll be playing chess tournaments. Maybe we need, like, a different day. You can't really... Adoption doesn't really, like, rhyme with any month. Unless you have, like, adoption August. Every day of August is an adoption match. But then August is a bit of a long way away. Can't really make... fun out of this. Yeah, I think some kind of extension of the family tree. Family tree Friday, there we go. Family tree Friday. We will extend the family tree every Friday. That would work. Roman subsidy. This is quite a big theoretical battle. Yeah, we got another Queen's Gambit accepted. It's really interesting how Nick's just trying to stick to like one opening, which is an opening he knows. Whereas Danny's just like trying out really, really random stuff. Yeah, it's very, very intense. I love being Christmassy. Are you guys doing anything nice for Christmas? Other than potentially getting adopted by Danny and joining my family. Maybe, whatever the point of my extended family is by Christmas, we can have a massive Zoom call on Christmas Day. Or New Year's Day. An extended family Zoom call. Incentive to be part of my extended adopted family. Right. I wonder if I can persuade Danny to do lots of adoption matches. Do we actually reckon we could ask Jabava very nicely to do an adoption? Wait, has he had some kind of... He's now had an e6 piece sack. He didn't find the e6 piece sack in a very, very similar position in the other game. Of course we can. You reckon we can persuade him? Bishop a3, right? Or queen f6? Yeah, this one works. Then you take on g6. Then you go bishop a3? Yeah. Yeah, this looks good for Danny. He resigned already? Interesting. Didn't want to try c5. Okay, 8-0 at the moment. I can persuade Danny to play more matches. Ah, okay, okay. Are we actually going to have some kind of relatively normal opening at this point? This is like Queen's Indian, isn't it? With e6 and b6.
I really know. It looks vaguely more normal.
Okay, how are we gonna do this whole extended family joining then? Do we say subs only, and then you ask in the Discord and we arrange a time for the match? That could work. Bishop c6. I feel like white seems better again. Problem is, I feel really bad for, like, 2 games ago, Nick just missed a win, but obviously he didn't have much time, but... Okay, so Danny's given up his Dark Squad Bishop. I'm not entirely sure why. Other than he wanted to push P4. I don't really understand this position. Danny's trying out all his condom opening. Danny's playing very, very strange stuff. Yeah, I think it's just, he's trying, I mean, because the thing is, I feel like Nick was probably preparing really hard. Nick's the sort of person that puts a lot of time and effort into chess and stuff. And I wouldn't be surprised if Nick had spent a few hours, like, studying Danny's openings and trying to prepare. So then this is Danny's way of just, like, throwing out some kind of thing which Nick isn't prepared for. But having said that, 2 games ago, when Danny played some random stuff, he got an absolutely horrendous position, and Nick was winning. So maybe he'll revert to theory for last game. I want to see an e4, e5, though. Oh, now black might be getting some kind of advantage. Was that? Hang on, so knight d2, a5. So he was trying to trade here, but then he throws in this. And now, yeah, look at the pawns. The pawns come very quickly. No, not anymore. That was a knight trade. Pawn trade. I don't really know what's going on. It's really difficult to follow Blitz, isn't it? It's great fun, though. Do any of you guys watch the Speed Chess Championships and stuff? I'm watching, like, the commentary they do on that on the chess.com channel. They're absolutely brilliant and stuff. And they just keep up with it. And there's so many games, and they're so fast, and it's insane. Yeah, so this is... It's interesting that I don't think we've had a single flag yet. I don't know whether to be disappointed or excited about that, honestly. Knight takes a2 as a move. Will he play? It looks fine, right? You take on a2, then you move your queen away, and then the knight comes back again. You don't lose the piece. Maybe Danny's seeing ghosts. He didn't want to go for it. But he has got this massive time advantage again. Nick needs to speed up. Looks like I will be getting a brother at this rate. Because if Danny can convert this game, and he only needs 1 more win after this. Having said that, he's not actually material up. He's just positionally got a much better position. Yeah, his rook can come to c8 and then c2. He needed to grab the c file, I think. Now Nick can grab the c file himself, and it's not so clear. Though, the thing is, this pawn majority, like the 5 against 4, is more mobile. Like, this is a passed pawn. Oh, now he's just blundered the A pawn. Oh, Nick's just blundered it. You have to focus on work again, Dressing. Thank you, Baz. See you later. Wait, who's gonna do? I have to do the prediction thing then, don't I? Can I give the results of the prediction? I don't really know. I'll have to try. Probably. Okay, last game then. Last game of the match. If Danny, as white, wins this game, then he will win the match. We've got Queen's Gambit accepted again. So this is the interesting thing. Danny's been... Yeah, there's 1 more game. I mean, if you need to go, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. I don't know how to do this prediction. Yeah, this is the last game. So, Danny seems to have been sticking with this, allowing this Queen's Gambit accepted as white, and then just playing weird openings as black, which is quite interesting. So we'll have to see. Yeah. What do we reckon? I think the last time we had this, he missed some kind of tactic with taking on e6, right? But now he can go h6 straight away, and there's no take on e6 because the bishop defends it. So it's a very similar position, but slightly different. On the other hand, if this bishop had already moved... Ah, Big Steve!
Horsey One Love.
Thank you so much for resubscribing. I really appreciate it. How are you doing today? Yeah, if this bishop had already moved somewhere, then h6 wouldn't have been possible, because I think there would have been this knight takes e6 line again. But now it doesn't work. But yeah, this seems very, very similar to stuff before. If any of you played Queen's Gambit Accepted or you played d4, I really recommend having a look at these games, because I suspect, as I said, that Nick probably did a load of prep. This is probably all theoretical to a point. But it's interesting how they were going down similar stuff. Yeah, Danny has been trying out some very weird stuff in some of these lines as black to try and throw Nick off, I think. And then playing sensible stuff as white. You have a better line against the QGA for white? Interesting. I played the Queen's Gambit Accepted in one of my games in Europeans to surprise my opponent. It's actually a decent opening. I got a really, really nice position. I just didn't understand the middle games, which is a bit sad. Okay, so he grabs that knight. This looks fairly equal at the moment. Nick needs to speed up, though. You look at this, like, it's the confidence, right? Danny plays with confidence. He plays and moves quickly. Whereas Nick's spending a long, long time thinking. And now Danny's up half a minute on the clock. So now Danny can afford to think. But still, like, he's playing it quicker than Nick, despite the fact that he's got more time than Nick. He's just thinking long enough to be like, is this a decent move? He's not trying to find the best move. And he's probably not even really calculating. I mean, I'll ask him about it afterwards, after this game when I sort of interview them about it. But I suspect that, yeah, he's just sort of playing with his intuition. And just sort of thinking, well, this looks like a good square for the piece he'll do. And then he's waiting for his, and he's calculating a little bit. Like, if he sees, if it's a complicated position, he'll try and look at some moves. And if he thinks that Nick's made a blunder and he can capitalize on it, then he does. But he's just playing good moves quickly with his intuition. And then Nick ends up low on time, and then like eventually Nick blunders because he's got less time. So this is a really good strategy, I reckon. Playing good moves quickly. But yeah, the second half of this has been a lot quicker than the first half so far. Yeah, be interesting. Looks like white's completely winning. As E6 is going to come crushing through very soon. Oh, but now there's Queen A8. Yeah, see, like, Danny finds the moves. He finds the moves. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, yeah, you can do yes on the predictions, Spaz. So those of you that said that I would get a brother today, congrats. Look at Danny pumping his fist there. Danny, unmute yourself. Danny's doing a little victory dance there. Okay, congratulations. Congratulations,
Oh, thank
Danny.
you. Yeah, I'd have to say thanks to Nick for being such a good sport, but ultimately, I'm the best. You know, let's be honest. No, I mean, really tight games, actually, especially the first game. I was probably losing, or, you know,
The
certainly
first
should have
one
been
was like game 6 or 7. Nick was completely winning.
Yeah,
missed a
just
win.
lots of
Which one?
games up.
You could have won a piece.
Don't tell us how. We'll try and work it out.
Okay, you were white, and Danny played some really dodgy opening involving Queen A5.
That one, yeah. But how? He went knight G8, and then how can I win a piece?
Hang on. I'll see if I can get the game open. But yeah, congratulations, Danny.
Thank you.
I'll see if I can open this game, because I think I'm sharing my screen for you guys.
Yeah.
How do I find the game? I have to look here, don't I?
Danny, I think I messed up in the Queen's Gambit, except I should play Bishop takes C3 like in the last game, because when he played Knight takes B5, I lose the pawn and I'm worse.
Alright, I'm just going to adjust the board.
Yeah, that line's not that grateful. I had that against Edouard Romain.
I watched that game, actually, yeah, but I didn't... you played a bit differently with him, or... I'm not sure.
So it was this game, right? So you went for this weird line with this Queen A5.
Right.
And then Nick just got
a
beautiful position. This was like your best chance. Yeah, Danny did his Magnus when winning, yeah. Oh, welcome to the family, Nick, by the way. You can join the family tree now. I'm going to make a family tree for my extended family.
Hello, my new son. Hello to my new son.
My new brother.
My dad was gonna be really pissed off when he heard about it. He's like, "Who is this guy that's gonna be your dad?" But yeah.
But here I went really
You have to
passive.
refer to him as Daddy Gormally now.
After
Join
night
the
C4,
Daddy Gormally Club.
I don't understand why they
yeah,
don't
it's
just go
because
like.
it's on Chess TV, Prima Lane.
I mean, for example, after knight c4, why don't I go queen c7? I mean, queen d8's a terrible move, yeah?
It was really funny, and then you like put your knight back on g8 a few moves later. Like Nick's just like
it's horrendous.
beautiful,
Well, I
beautiful
suddenly realised I
position.
forgot about bishop f4. I forgot about bishop f4, and this is just horrendous. Yeah, this is just really bad.
Yeah, because here, if you go knight f5, I have g4, and then the knight is trapped.
Yeah, it's already. I mean, I've lost like that to computers. It's embarrassing that I played because the problem is I can't even develop the knight because if I go e6 and I always lose to knight e6.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Danny, that's something I wanted to ask about your opening choices. This is my interview question for you because I suspected that Nick had probably done a lot of prep. But I was intrigued that as white, you mostly stuck to the same lines, and as black, you tried different random stuff each game. Do you want to tell everyone a bit about how you decided?
I was a little bit freaked out when he was really prepared for my knight off, and I had looked at that line the first game. We should have a look at the first game as well because I had looked at that line, but I seemed to go like horribly wrong at some point, and I don't know what I'd be interested to check the opening to see what, because that's what freaked me out. That's why I started playing all this absolute random rubbish like the North Sea defense. You know, I played the North Sea defense in Scarborough, Zoe, so it's like
Nick mentioned it.
At the break, I mentioned it that you said in Scarborough while the three of us were walking to the train station that it's crap d5, but I didn't remember why it was crap. So you played d6 in that game, and it was very impressive that with the Pirk you beat 2400 because the Pirk is
2350. But yeah, Nick actually followed us to the train station. We were like, "Why are you going to the train station, buddy? And you're getting on the train as well." And then it turned out he was actually going back, but he just wanted to talk to us so much. They followed us all the way to the train station, which is about 2 miles from the venue, and then walked all the way back again. I was like, respect, man. You deserve an adoption match after that.
It was the happiest moment in my life because I broke 1900, so I want to share it with you guys. So yeah,
where you had the tactic.
Here,
don't tell us what the tactic is. Don't tell us what the tactic is. I'll work it out.
Wait, yeah.
Is it here?
Yeah.
Okay. The first thing I thought about was a possibility of going bishop h3. But I'm guessing knight c5's crushing. The idea of taking on d7 or taking on b7 now about it.
Yeah. Let's not just allow that. It's because there's bishop as well.
Yeah.
So knight c5. You have to play like queen c7 or something. Then
I would
you play
just wall
queen
up on
takes
d7,
here,
yeah. And
then like what do you do? Like this is attacked, and then if it moves, this drops, and then this drops, and then there's discoveries. And okay, Nick, you were really low on time, so even here you might not necessarily have converted it. But still, like there would have been decent chances of.
But Zoe, there were a number of games I think Nick was
Danny would have to have gone for a dirty flag, basically.
Well, I'm always, I'm partial to a dirty flag. But the thing is, Zoe, like Nick had a number of good positions, and this reminds me, we were discussing this recently, that the most important thing in chess is winning technique, right?
Yeah.
I think, because it's so hard to win one positions. I had this earlier. I was playing against good players, but I mean, I had winning positions and I bungled it. And we're seeing that in the World Championship as well. Even if the guys get promising positions, it's so hard to win a game at World Championship level against a level of defence that they put up because they're finding amazing. But this position is just winning. You know, it doesn't matter what your opponent does.
I think this was the only one that was completely winning. There were other games, as you said, Nick had a slight advantage. But this one, there was a tactical win. But obviously low on time, that's really tough to see. And as I said, even if you had found it, Danny might well have managed to dirty flag you somehow from this.
I doubt it, but yeah, it would have been
interesting. I mean, he had like sort of 20 or 30 seconds, I think, of this.
Ah, okay, right. But the position is so bad. Some positions are so bad that it becomes embarrassing to even try and flag them.
Yeah, but you would have tried. You would have gone for it. You would have
tried
full on gone for it.
I tried the first one. I tried the first one, right? When I hung the piece with the A4 or whatever it was, yeah.
But
if you hadn't hung that piece in that first game, I was literally saying during that game, I was like, oh, I don't think Danny's going to get me a brother at this point. Like, it was just so equal.
Yeah, I
And
really read that game off, to be honest. I mean, he was fighting so hard. It was really. Firstly, I was worse, I think, and then later on, the best I had was equals. But yeah, I'd sort of bluffed with this H5 bill. I don't
Did
know if
you
it's worth looking at
want
that
to look
game.
at the first game because of the fact that Nick
Yeah.
was so well prepped?
Yeah,
It
let's have
could
a look at
be
that first
instructive.
game,
Like theoretical point of view, it's probably the most instructive out of all of them for
Also, the
outsiders.
Gambit accepted is important theoretically. It's an opening you played in the European, so yeah.
Well, I played it as a one-off to surprise my opponent. I'm not really sure how often I'll play it again.
It's a good opening. I would recommend it, but it's your call. Well, look, Danny, we played this in the bar in the Northumbria Masters after the last round. You remember?
Oh yeah.
And you beat me with 5 minutes to 1. But you went Queen C7. You didn't go E takes F4.
So was this?
Right.
Yeah, this prep.
Yeah,
this
here
F4.
you went Queen C7 in the bar. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
what-
I worked out afterwards that apparently you are supposed to take an F4.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, because I was saying I hadn't really come across this line before, so I was very intrigued. Because normally, obviously, I go for this stuff with F3 and G4. So I hadn't seen this F4
Yeah,
immediately.
this is a dangerous line because it's very straightforward, Zoe. You're right,
Yeah.
the normal line is F3 and G4. But after F4, if Queen C7, apparently we played a 5 against 1 minute game in Northumbria Masters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
F5 and you went Bishop C4.
And then after Queen C7, F5
Yeah.
was played and Bishop
C4.
Bishop
Yeah, you
C4.
already look at the eval
And
bar.
here,
It's like
my book
creeping
says
up.
I should take on C4 and then go Queen F3 and castle long.
Yeah, it looks very dangerous for black. Like Queen F3, strategically dangerous because it's a very dangerous plan.
Yeah,
later
and
on.
I
Go
feel
G4,
like
G5.
if you can't get D5 in, then it's really difficult for you to find a move because you're not ever going to play G6. And then what's this? You're going to have to do some weird maneuver with this
I would
bishop.
probably try something like B5, but after B5 you have a lot of options. But I think you could either go A3 or you could just castle
Well, let's say you did just castle.
B4
B4.
and now knight D5.
Knight D5, yeah. I mean,
I definitely like white in these lines. Yeah, I see what you mean. This Queen C7 allowing F5 looks a bit risky.
Very good
Okay.
for white. Sorry.
Yeah,
So
I
now, so
expected
you've
it.
improved on that by taking it. And Nick, presumably you'd prepped all of this quite intensely, right?
Not intensely, like 5 minutes before, because I didn't know if the game would happen because you were sick. And first of all, I'm really happy that you can stream and that you're better, at least compared to how you were. And I wish you to recover completely. First of all, that's the most important thing, the
Thank
health,
you.
because
Yeah, I'm
we
a
can
lot,
make
I'm
back-
a lot better today than I was like yesterday or the day before. So
that's great. Because rating points, we can win them back. Money, we can get it back, but our health, we cannot get it back. It's by far the most important thing. So yeah.
no, this stream
here-
will make me healthier.
The
Happier,
first
happier.
time I came into your stream, actually, it was because of Danny posting on Twitter that you're doing the Olympiad game analysis, and you played the normal one with Bishop B3 and F3, and he said that F4 was a good move, and then he said, I'm asking the viewers, which is the best reply for black after F4, and I said that that's what I played against you in the bar, and yeah, it was quite fun.
I got improvement. I got improvement, Zoe. So Bishop F4, right? This is all
Yeah.
theory.
Mhm.
Knight C6.
So you analysed this afterwards to improve on it.
No, I've analysed this before. Yeah, I analysed this for this book that I'm writing, which is called Pandemic Shock. So look out for that book when it comes out. It's all about the difference between amateur players and professionals, and also, you know, weaker GMs like myself. No disrespect to myself, and someone like Magnus Carlsen, right?
Yeah.
And also why people have improved a lot because of the pandemic and have suddenly got into chess. But after Queenie, yeah, so I was going deep into this line, but I still forgot it because my memory's so bad. But I think that maybe Stockfish played G6 here. I could be wrong. It's G6
Yeah.
a move.
Yeah, and H3 and then Knight H5. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
that's right. Then Knight H5,
H3,
yeah.
Knight H5, Bishop H2.
Well, you
And
guys,
then
you guys
go-
know this.
And then you go,
Bishop G7, castles, and now Knight
and then
G3.
Knight G3.
Yeah, with Queen G5.
How did you know this?
God, that's
Because
intense.
you mentioned that on the stream of Zoe the first time that I came into your channel.
Ah, right.
You've got
Yeah,
good
yeah,
memory.
yeah.
I don't remember
Yeah,
anything that Danny tells me in my streams.
So what was your improvement over
Apart
this
from
line?
the only thing I ever remember that Danny's told me is to go Rook E8 and Knight F8. And now I keep doing it as every game is black.
Ah.
Oh, right.
So
Yeah.
that and I'm not allowed to take draws. I have to play for the win. Which is common.
Danny, to be totally honest, this G6 is not in my book. It's not mentioned. So yeah.
Yeah. It's an improvement and stop. When I play trading games against the default engine, say for example, a chess.com or Lee Chess, are we allowed to mention that? But anyway,
no, chess.com only. You're only allowed to play against
chess.com.
chess.com.
Okay, only. But anyway, if against a computer, they often play really weird and unusual moves in the opening you haven't seen. Then you look at them, like you prepare and you look on ChessBase or whatever, and you realise actually it's a really good move, you know. And this is because I like the idea of G6 because it controls a lot of squares on the king side and it prepares this irritating knight H5 idea. But the whole idea, it revolves around controlling the dark squares, right? Because in the game I didn't quite get the right setup.
Yeah, I just want to make a point to my viewers on that. Danny's made a very good point about using the computer to help training, and I'm going to make a YouTube video at some point on how to use the computer to benefit your chess. Which is a bit of a controversial topic, but obviously chess.com has this really great feature with the computer where you have the different levels of the computer and different styles and stuff. So it's really, really good to prepare because you can play against the top level computer and see what theoretically the best ever moves are. But you could also prepare against someone of similar level to yourself to kind of predict what sorts of moves your opponent might make against you. So I recommend...
Yeah, you know what I do now, Zoe? What I do is I download all the PGN files, right?
Yeah.
That I play when I play against the chess.com default engine. I download the PGN files, and then I analyze those games and I look at the opening because often it will come up with really nice ideas in the opening.
Yeah,
and that's really helped my chess. I feel like it's really got my chess to another level.
Maybe I should be doing that because you're probably coming up with all of these like novelties and stuff as well.
I'm GM strength now.
Did you win both? Oh no, you only got a draw on Sunday, didn't you?
Well, I was playing John Spielman, who's like really solid player with White. I mean, he was used to be a world championship. You know, it's interesting actually. He was telling me we got a taxi back afterwards. It was a solid draw. I mean, they didn't play for a draw, but it ended up all the pieces got hoovered off. And we were chatting afterwards. Yeah, I had a really terrible journey back because obviously because of the storm. So even though I left about 12:30, 1:45, it still took me 9 hours to get back, which is crazy, right? But anyway, I was chatting with him. It was interesting. He was talking about the World Championship because he was actually a second to Nigel Schultz in a World Championship match in 1993 against Garry Kasparov. And he was also second to Vichy Haddad in a 1995 match, which took place in the World Trade Center. But where he said that when he was the second to Haddad, you know, when they say seconds, there's a lot of seconds. So he wasn't really the main second, and Haddad didn't really talk to him that much. It was mainly the Yusupov who was the second. But it was interesting talking to him about that and, you know, about the World Championship match and all that kind of thing. Yeah, getting some kind of insight. But this isn't World Championship level, unfortunately.
Not quite, yeah. Maybe in the future? Do you reckon you could go? I mean, you got a draw against the computer, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I'm a good player, Zoe, but the guys at the top now, I mean, we're looking at their games. It's crazy, you know, how well they play. And, you know, they're not making any serious mistakes. But I think people are actually, they're too clear now of the opinion. So it started off, it was going to be Nepo was going to, you know, be a different type of opponent, and it was going to be a very exciting match. And now it's gone completely the other way, and everyone's saying every game's going to be a draw. I don't agree, and I think the match will suddenly swing into life over the next few games. I actually think that Magnus will win first, will strike first. So I could be wrong about that, but I've really got a feeling that over the next 2 or 3 games he's going to break through. But we'll see anyway.
Yeah, because if the next game Magnus is white, but then Nepo gets 2 whites in a row, so that's a crucial point of the match with 2 whites in a row. No,
he doesn't. If Magnus gets 2 whites, they don't change like they did in the previous match. He gets 2 whites out of the next 3 games, so that's quite big.
This one, okay.
But it was interesting that Levy Rosman put up a video where they were analysing after the games, and Nepo was like, kept blundering in the analysis, and Carlsen's like seen everything. So I thought, well, yeah, he is a better player at the end of the day. I mean, Nepo's very good. He's got to a different level compared to what he used to be. But I think that Carlsen is another level again, you know. So,
yeah, and I
it's
think
going to
that's
be
an interesting point, because I think post-mortem analysis probably is filling Carlsen with even more confidence. Like, if he's analysing and realising that he's seeing everything and Nepo's blundering all over the place, then that's going to make him even more confident in himself. And it's that confidence that's going to give him the ability to push for the win.
Yeah, exactly. But also, I mean, I do think Nepo, he's good. His instincts are very, very good. You know, I mean, obviously he can calculate very well, but his instincts are fantastic. So that's the key for Carlsen. Can he break the Nepo solid approach?
Well, the thing is, at some point, one of them's going to have to try and go for a win.
Exactly.
And it's just a matter of time. So I don't think either of them have really tried for a win yet.
I don't think they want to play. People say they're going to halve out.
Does Nepo know how the knights move?
Well, I mean, I don't think they want to play until the tiebreak, because realistically, you know, it's quite tiring, because they're playing 14 games this time rather than 12. So you can imagine, unless they really shrivel up towards the end, and you have to play till move 40 anyway, I think, don't you? So you can't just agree quick draws.
Well, unless people are going to get the position.
Yeah, exactly. But that's unlikely. But I think that's going to happen every game. And I think people are going to get tired towards the end of the match. And it could well be that Carlsen's greatest stamina, while I regard him as a slightly fitter player, is going to be a crucial factor as well. So I think there's a lot of factors that Carlsen has in his favour. I do expect him to win a game. I'd be very surprised if he didn't win a game with White at some point in the match. But we'll see.
Danny, and also Zoe, do you think that if they go to the rapid, even if it's 14 draws or it's a draw at the end, I mean, the final wins are equal, Nepo, is he going to lose in the rapid? Because in rapid, I think he's much better than Caruana and even than Karyakin. So I think he's got a decent chance in the rapid and even in the blitz.
Yeah, I don't think that's what I'm saying. I don't think Carlsen necessarily wants it to go, but I think that's looking too far ahead, because they've got 9 games. It's a huge amount of games, and each game is incredibly tough. I think he's looking too far ahead to talk about a rapid just yet.
So I'm not sure either of them necessarily want it to go that far, because from Carlsen's point of view, as you're saying, like, Nepo is a lot stronger than previous people he's faced in at rapid and blitz specifically. So it gives Nepo more chances. But on the other hand, Carlsen is also exceptionally good in blitz and rapid, and if he's seeing all of this calculation stuff in the analysis a lot better than
but I feel like I really don't think. I think that'd be a mistake on his part to go to just
they
fake it to the
played
rapid.
the most accurate championship game ever. That's interesting. To be fair, they are going for draws before they get very low on time, though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's true. Yeah, I think they're like. I mean, my game against Spielman the other day. I mean, people work so much with engines that we've become like grandmasters and now like walking engines. Really, we're so accurate. Like, if we get in a position that we understand.
Speak for yourself.
Obviously, this game I didn't play anything like an engine, because I really didn't have a clue what I was doing. If I remember that analysis, I might have done. But yeah, I think you can get to a level where you're almost like. Essentially, that's what chess grandmasters are now. They're engine imitators. Yeah. And I think you could become too hung up on this accuracy stuff, and you know, maybe that's what they need. They need to play like a game with a lot of blunders and you know, to break the deadlock. That if they're just base, I think that's the thing. You know, I mean, when we're talking about that, you know, chess is dead and they're having a lot of draws, but the reality is, if they played against computers, Zoe, they'd be losing more or less every game, right?
Yeah. Well.
So
be interesting to see, actually, whoever wins this match to play a match against a computer.
No, they wouldn't even bother, because it's not even an interesting match anymore. It's just that the computer's just going to win very easily. So the thing is, you know, why are they having so many draws? Well, the point is that they're playing relatively cautious chess, and they're both very well matched players. You know, they're very close to each other in terms of strength. So that's why, you know, they're having so many draws. It's not necessarily that the chess is dead. You know, I was watching this, you know, commentary yesterday, and the commentators after the game had finished, you know, they were coming up with amazing resources, but that was using the engine. So the computer's finding amazing ideas to put the pressure on, but somehow they're unable to find this. So essentially, to break the deadlock, I think one of the players has to play like an engine.
It is really interesting how, obviously, with chess, you can have a draw. Because with a lot of other sports and games and stuff, and anything that involves things like goals, you can just go into an overtime and do like a first past the post sort of thing.
Well, in chess you could do that with Armageddon, can't you?
Yeah, but then that's an entirely different game. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, you can't do it within the same chess game. You have to start a different chess game with different conditions to force it. Yeah. Like with Armageddon. And even with that, you're not saying either white wins or black wins. You're saying if it's a draw, then one person wins. You're like adding in other conditions. Whereas you look at other sports and games and stuff, and you can do, like with football, you can do penalty shootouts and things, and you can do overtimes and first to score and like that sort of thing. And even if it lasts quite a long time, eventually you'll get one side winning if you need it. Now, obviously, depending on the situation, you might allow a draw anyway. But yeah, it does interest me that obviously with chess, you can't really ever force the game not to be a draw.
I think there's a lot of drawing elements in chess. That's the problem. And the thing is, these guys, they know that they know the ways to wangle it to a draw. They know how to get to a rook and pawn game, which is drawn. They know how to get to rook and bishop versus rook. So to break their resistance, I think you've got to do either one or two things. You've either got to sharpen the game up, and there's two players that are willing to fight. And the other thing, I think, is if somebody does get a chance, they've got to basically take that chance. And that's the difficult thing because, given the level of defense is so high, it's very difficult to break that opponent's resistance. I mean, we saw it in the last match, though, that Caruana had at least two golden opportunities to win games. Carlsen had a couple of great opportunities as well. So, there were the opportunities there. Now, the question is, in this match, if somebody gets that opportunity, will they take it? And also, I think the last match, Carlsen-Caruana, I think both players should have played on the last game because I really feel like that game was a real pity that they agreed to draw because actually when you looked at that game, that was a really wild game and that was the sort of game you were looking for. And then they suddenly agreed to draw, which is really a shame for chess, I think. Because at least then it would have finished in style rather than going into the overtime rapid place. But anyway, do you want to carry on looking at this game?
Yeah, if you want to look at this game, if you're happy to. I think everyone will appreciate some Grandmaster insights. It'd be interesting to see what Nick had prepared for you. Hi, Steve, by the way, nice to see you here.
Yeah, the reason I went h3 is obvious. I want to prevent bishop g4 when I castle. I mean, the last thing I want.
Yeah, you have to throw that move. Yeah. It's a useful.
And also to prepare g4, which is Zoe's favorite move. So you can get g4 in this line.
Yay!
So that's the whole idea of going g6 is that you get this irritating knight h5 move. But now I can't play knight h5. So I went because now you're threatening maybe some move like e5 maybe. Might be annoying.
I'm not sure.
No, maybe you're not. Maybe this is probably where I went wrong. Or I could go 98 is maybe an option, or
Queen c7.
Yeah, because this is where because after you went knight d7, I was like, hang on a minute, why can't Nick just take here? And I was going on chat, I was like, why is Nick not taking it?
It's a reaction move, Zoe. I was nervous, to be honest. I was very nervous at the start of the match because I really wanted to get some points on the board early.
To be fair, it's quite difficult to find a move because obviously, like, you can't really move this queen that easily, and like even queen c7 doesn't really help because there's still this, and then maybe knight here happens at some point, and it just looks
also
like
when I go queen c7, then later on when I go rook c8. I kind of want the rook on the c file coming down the c file directly, but the queen's on c7 is kind of blocking.
Yeah,
queen c7,
maybe
would have been a better move.
Well, maybe rook c8 then.
And if he goes e5, what do I play? Like knight e8 anyway or something.
So you can't
maybe knight e8 anyway. I've got to be careful about the knight, right?
Yeah, knight e8 is probably the only move, right?
If you take on e6, then maybe bishop e5 or something. I wouldn't probably go g4. I don't know. this looks. What does the engine say here? Let's
What's
cheat.
your move? 0.00. I've got the
I
eval
would say
bar.
maybe bishop g5, Zoe.
Bishop g5. Okay.
No, it's got up. Yeah, I blundered again.
No, I think you want to take this. I'm just trying to look at
I'll
what you
take
take
that.
it with. Because if
what
you
do I
take with the bishop, then obviously we're going to chop off.
I just wondered how I beat knight e4. So if I go,
That's what I'm saying. If you take with
It's
the
a check,
bishop,
it's a
you have
check.
to take because there's a check. But
Yeah,
if you
but then you
take with
still
the
got bishop.
knight,
you still got like, maybe
then
knight e4, but maybe
there's-
there's a move here. Yeah, no, knight e4 is a blunder apparently.
Really? How though? I mean,
Why is that a blunder? Maybe knight b4 is a move.
knight b4. This is.
ooh.
Oh my god, this is intense. This
I
is
need
so
to play
intense.
c3, but after c3 you take on a2 and then you take on b3 and nah.
Yeah, no, that's no good. So maybe you would have to take first.
Oh, but you could take and go.
He has the check though now. He has the check on f4, so it won't
Yeah.
work. I
Well,
don't want
No,
to.
no, I
Is
think
it
queen
b?
d2, maybe, or queen somewhere. No, not queen d2. No.
You
Maybe
change
knight
your word.
c5, Zoe. Knight c5 is nasty. Yeah, that's the idea. Because then you
Yeah.
threaten knight b7.
Just
and knight...
keep guessing until you find the move
Yeah,
that the
yeah.
eval likes.
Yeah, I think knight c5 is quite nasty. But maybe you could take with the bishop instead on d6, right?
Yeah, so that was what I thought. I thought taking with the bishop made more sense than taking.
Yeah,
with
that's
the
a better
knight.
move because
But now if I take and go knight d4, you don't have queen g5 check, so
no, but I still have knight b4, baby.
Yeah, but then
I
it's
still have,
this move.
ah.
I still have this.
Okay.
No. Rook d6.
Rook d6, yeah, and then I give the queen on
Because the
c2.
bishop's on. Oh my god, this is just absolutely ridiculous.
This position is really, really confusing. But I think we're learning. Bishop b3, Zoe.
Yeah, no, bishop b3, so you have to tailor this, but then where's the follow-up?
Oh, is it a rook e8? No, not
Wait,
rook
do we
e8.
have some kind of queen a5? No, maybe not.
Nah.
Yeah, queen a5 looks good. Yeah, I'll try queen a5. Well, it certainly can.
Yeah, but you just take on d6, right? And then we're not really threatening anything.
And I go to d2, and then I mean maybe I don't know, but
No, I think there
perhaps
must
I
be
could
something
take
better
with
than
the
that.
rook. Perhaps take with the rook on d6. If queen a5, I take with the rook, and I go king d2, and I have my rook on d6.
No, I think.
No.
Yeah, this is a bit messy though. There's obviously something cleaner for black, right?
This is really, really interesting position.
Yeah.
So we can just like allow this. Maybe it's some kind of just rook e8.
Yeah, maybe rook e8, rook d6, queen h, some queen moves like queen h4 or something, or queen e7. Maybe just queen e7 actually, simply queen e7.
Mm.
Oh, there's also queen h4 as an option, maybe.
Yeah, I
Queen
prefer
H4.
queen h4. I like keeping the rook attacking the knight.
No, it's a bad move because of g4. I think. I would just. Well, maybe
Wait,
now
why-
queen h5.
Can we hang on? If we take,
No, I
you
take on e2. I take on e2. I'm a pre-jump.
You take.
I
Yeah.
think queen
Yeah, why
e7
is it-
isn't that bad, is it? I think queen
Thank you
e7
for the
is.
follow, Emerson. How are you doing today?
Queen e7 is okay. It's not losing.
No, but there might be something even better.
Which is, what does
Okay,
the analysis
let's
bar
say-
say? Queen c7 might be a move actually.
Yeah. What about
yeah.
queen c7? And now we're threatening this, but then maybe we're also
Yeah,
threatening
yeah.
f5.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say I drop the rook back to d2, so it defends c2, and after f5 I have queen c4.
No. Okay. Can we slow down a bit? Slow down.
I'm not
Queen
moving
F4.
anything. Yeah, I was looking
Queen
at queen
f4 is a move.
f4.
Queen f4 is a move.
That's what I was looking at.
Uh,
But apparently, not best.
and this is okay. You get the piece back, but what's the evaluation? Probably close to equal.
Maybe
Yeah.
knight a5 is a
Whereas
move. Knight a5 might be a move, Joey. Knight a5. No. Again.
Nice, you're learning a lot here. I'm really glad you're learning a lot. That's really good. That's what we aim for. So
The human
that's why
player
we
would play
bring
queen
Daniel on.
f4.
Yeah, queen f4. I want to find a better move. I'm gonna find a better move.
Knight b4. Knight b4, Zoe. Knight b4.
Wait. Let me think. Because you're not coming up with very good moves.
I'm trying. Knight b4. I've just come up with one.
Did the engine
Hi
like
Zoe,
it though?
6 months of educational
I don't know.
content and fun.
So
See,
wait
so
a
Oh
minute.
my
evaluates.
god! god! Waterford Wizard, thank you so much for resubscribing for 6 months. That's insane. You get like the special the gold horsey badge now. Educational content. I'm really glad you appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I think night before's crushing Zoe with the idea of Queen A5, a slow win, because the rook's badly placed on D2. Now it's kind of.
No, it doesn't like your moves.
Maybe Queen A5 then. Maybe Queen A5 now.
Now that
Yeah, I
seems
finally
more to
found
the
it.
point. That's more the sort of thing you look
Finally,
for.
I
Right?
found it. Yeah, because if you go C3, I had Queen A1, King C2, Knight B4, mate.
Oh,
Whoa.
beautiful, beautiful checkmate. Absolutely
Whoa.
beautiful.
So wait a minute. Now is Stockfish my granddad?
Yeah, he's my granddad as well. Well, actually, I don't think the chess.com actually uses Stockfish as their computer. I have a feeling it's Komodo.
Right.
Well, no, I
probably, yeah.
had a conversation with Maria about this at Europeans because I was asking her. But then the thing is, because Stockfish is like open source, I don't think they use it because it would mean their entire system would have to be open source or something.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
basically, but Komodo's
No.
another phenomenally strong engine, I think.
So I think it might be Komodo, but I don't know for
You know,
sure.
I know an interesting story about Komodo, right? Because Komodo's named after Komodo dragons in Indonesia. And apparently, so what you do is you get a boat to an island in Indonesia, which is called Komodo Island, right? And apparently, since the pandemic, they've changed the rules where you now have to pay a lot more money to go and visit the Komodo dragons because they had a problem with too many tourists, right?
Mm.
So now you have to pay like a phenomenal amount, but you have to pay like $1,000 at a time just to see the Komodo dragons. But so basically, poor people can't visit the Komodo Island anymore, which is a bit sad. So your only source is basically to play Komodo Dragon online. But yeah, I think.
You thought both chess.com and Lucius used Stockfish. It's possible they use Stockfish. It was just because I had a conversation with Maria and her partner. And they reckoned that it might have been Komodo. But I don't know. Maybe I need to ask. Maybe we should ask chess.com which engine they use. I don't know if they're able to say, but.
Well, I'm writing about it in my book, and I'm mentioning playing the chess.com engine, so it would be nice to know exactly what type of engine it is. Because if I put Stockfish, it might look a bit silly. But yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, learn. So basically, you're talking about direct tactics, and this is where the computer is very, very phenomenally strong because it's just, you know, when you've got like a direct confrontation of forces, Zoe, it very rarely gets the answer wrong, if ever.
Okay, so Rook C8 was potentially a better move.
Yeah,
But
97
knight
is
d7
like
is also
panic.
in my file. It's also maybe not in this position, but
So
the
Nick,
knight
would you
d7 knight
describe
d5 idea is in my file.
Yeah, 'cause
Would you
why
describe
can't you
yourself
just
as a
stick-
bit of a workhorse, or would you say you're a natural talent? Because you seem to know a lot of theory.
No, I work for it. I don't think
you
I
work.
have any natural
Nick, you look
talent.
half asleep there.
I am on my bed, that's why.
As bad as Danny.
Yeah. At least his room looks tidy.
You guys aren't experiencing the Christmas spirit. I'm more Christmassy. I'm like head to toe dressed in Christmas stuff
Yeah.
right now.
I'll sing a Christmas song if you want.
I've got a Christmas jumper and Christmas trousers on.
I'll sing a Christmas song. Do you want me to sing a Christmas song?
Yeah, I love Christmas song. Wait, why is he singing? Right, okay. We love Christmas.
We love Christmas.
What about that Pose classic? What was it? How's it go? It goes something like, "It's Christmas Eve, my dear, in the drunk tank." He talks about some horse that came in at 10-1. Came in at lucky one. Came in at 10-1. Great song that actually.
I just love Christmas so much. Someone please find me Christmas songs that aren't DMCA'd. Because I want to play Christmas songs on stream.
YMCA.
No,
Is that Christmas?
no, DMCA. Because if I play a song that's DMCA'd on stream, then I get in trouble. Or I
What
have
do you
to
mean
delete the
DMCA? What's DMCA?
copyright protect.
Ah, right. But I can sing it, presumably.
Well,
Which
yeah,
is much
you can
better.
sing it.
But I don't think they'll bother copyright my
Maybe
singing.
you should do a cover of all the Christmas songs I want so that I can have rights to it.
Yeah, maybe I could release my own album, Gormally's Christmas songs. You know,
And then I can-
last Christmas, it's Christmas time.
You have to
Yes,
finish the full songs
to
though.
be
You have to
free.
learn how to play like piano or guitar or something.
I've just beaten Nick 10-0. We live in lights and we banish shades. I'm so happy.
Let's continue with this game analysis because we're here for the chess. But yeah, I absolutely love Christmas so much. Best time of the year.
So he took on d6.
No, he didn't. Yeah, which is I was like, why didn't you take like?
I played instantly. That's why I didn't expect I would get the chance to win a pawn. I did the next move.
Yes,
But
then
I
you go
thought that it was-
G4, and then Danny
You didn't
sits
realise
and
how
thinks,
weak.
and then
You
goes
didn't
to
realise how
Rook C8.
weak I am.
Like, why
Yeah, I
didn't
didn't
you...
expect you would give me a pawn.
Why did
but-
you then play Rook C8? Why didn't you try and do something about this?
I didn't really care about a pawn. I mean, the thing is, he does give me certain squares when he takes on d6, so it's not completely ridiculous to give up a pawn.
And also a tempo. Queen C7
Danny
and the tempo on the
sings
rook.
better than you. Danny sings better than me, if that's what you're asking. I'm really bad at singing. I have no sense of whatever it is.
I'm not a good singer. I wish I
Tonality?
was. That would be my dream, to be a good singer like Michael Bolton or Whitney Houston or something. But I think-
Epicsounds.com. Does that give me DMCA protected Christmas songs? Because if it does, then I will.
Well,
All
I think
want for Christmas is you.
Oh, you make me want to
baby.
blast Christmas songs. Right.
who is you?
What's everybody's favourite Christmas song? Yeah.
There's too many. There's too many good Christmas songs.
I'll
You
shout
just gotta-
out. Yeah, that could be
Right.
my question to the
It's
stream.
more like you got to play an entire Christmas album non-stop whilst decorating the tree and wrapping Christmas presents and making Christmas dinner.
Yeah.
It's just like the whole feeling of it all. It's like it brings back so many good memories, right? For me, Christmas songs bring back the memories of being in primary school and like wrapping Christmas presents for my parents and making Christmas cards for them, and then like having our Christmas party and like that sort of thing.
I thought it was still Santa Claus that delivered Christmas presents. I didn't realise he didn't exist.
He
So
does
if there's
exist.
any juniors watching,
He does
he does
exist.
exist. Sorry.
Yeah. But you can still give presents to other people. Santa still comes to me.
I mean,
I leave out carrots and mince pie and whiskey.
that was my favourite part of the year actually, because my parents would put like a little sort of like pillowcase out and they stuff it full of presents. And oh yeah, you got a really nice present. Oh, you got a chocolate bar. You got like a my favourite Christmas present ever was like I had like an electric car. I had a yacht as well. I had like a little sailing boat that I put round the
An
pond.
actual yacht, imagine.
Well, not a proper yacht, but like a small little miniature. What do you call it? And I
Toy yacht.
would take it up to the pond in Blackheath, and I would sail it around the pond there, which was quite nice. But yeah, I had a little racing car as well. I had a little grey Mercedes racing car, and I would sort of like raced out.
Baby.
Yeah. I mean, I was young and I was nice, and something went wrong. I became a chess player. It's all been downhill ever since, you know.
It's not a bad thing to be a chess player.
I still don't understand why you went Rook C8 here though. Like, okay, can you play C7?
Yeah, there's obviously much better moves. I think knight e5 might be a better
Maybe.
move actually.
Yeah, 95 is
Probably-
my file, I think.
or even
Yeah,
bishop
it's a
g5.
position.
Even bishop g5 directly was also possible, but knight e. No, I think that knight, that the d knight looks more natural.
Yeah, because you were going to play it anyway after this trade, so yeah,
And-
might as well do it without being a pawn down.
And I think I'm okay here. I think I'm actually okay. I mean, I've also got ideas of maybe going bishop g5, but rook on c8. I think it's just.
I would go
clear.
queen e3 here to stop that. I would go queen e3 so I can play g5.
Yeah, queen e3 is a good move. Then I would go rook c8, and it just game
Maybe
on.
king b1 or something, or g5, I don't know.
King b1's a good move.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that was the observation I made, Nick. This was the other thing I was saying about the stream, because the time difference. Okay, so first game you actually had more time, so that was a bit of an anomaly. But like all the other games, Danny had more time, and my theory was that Danny was playing more intuitively than trying to calculate stuff, and that you were trying to
Maybe.
actually calculate variations. I just want.
Well, I realised in the. Well, firstly, what we've got to say, because I'm a high-rated player, no disrespect to it, I'll probably calculate variations quicker. But the other factor is, I realised in the first game I was too slow.
Yeah,
And I was too nervous, and I know I needed to speed up.
it was
So
like
you're absolutely
confidence.
correct.
Yeah.
I was just playing on, absolutely. I was playing, and I played a lot of 1 minute chess recently. I actually played 1 minute chess before we started here. And, you know, you've got to have that ability to play instinctively. and without thinking. But I think, you know, what I could tell from these games in this match is actually Nick's a lot better than his rating. I think, like he understands chess pretty well.
Yeah, 100%. Nick's better than his rating.
Thank you guys. Very
But
kind.
it was an interesting observation, and I think for me, I thought that was maybe the difference between the time situation, which then led to Nick messing up with when lower on time. Because I just got the impression that you were trying to, I mean, obviously, like, not entirely, but you were using your intuition a lot, whereas Nick was trying to calculate.
Yeah, entirely.
Whereas
Absolutely.
maybe if you trusted your intuition more, you might not have been in so many issues with the time situation.
The problem, though, guys, is that tactics are by far my biggest weakness, along with converting like a winning position to a full point or an equal position to a draw. Converting and tactics are my main weakness, because I think my openings are really good, and I've improved in the end game, at least according to my coach. So even
I got the opposite impression. I actually thought your tactics were really good, but I thought your end games were horrible. You know.
Yeah,
but when I say that, I mean in standard games, not in this one. So like
you should have done a load of Puzzle Rush before.
I did, yeah. I did the 3-minute Puzzle Rush so that I was in the mood for 3-minute chess.
That's what I like doing, Puzzle Rush before stuff.
Yeah, I've really improved recently. I think my blitz has really improved because I played loads of. But I beat this guy Yakoved yesterday. It was like 2,900. I beat him 2.5, and he's one of the best blitz players who play there regularly, and I crushed him. And it was like really tactical games.
Danny, you've been doing a lot of Puzzle Rush recently, haven't you?
You're
trying to beat my high score on survival mode.
What's your high score in survival?
I think it's 62, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm around about that. Yeah, I was 61. I mean, I got 50 the other day on 5 minutes, which I was quite happy with. It's not easy to get over 50. That was the first time I got over 50.
So obviously, Danny blundered the pawn. Nick missed it.
I had a valid reason not to take it because I played your favorite move, which was G4. So.
Excellent G4. Okay. We'll allow. Play G4.
Well, I took it the next move, and then Knight C5.
Yeah.
He took on D6, yeah. Okay.
So now, now he wants to move this knight there.
That's why I can't move this knight.
I think obviously, as you said before, if this knight had been there, it might have been slightly better.
But the other problem is if I go Queen G5, you just have a good answer with Queen D2 anyway. So.
But the thing is, in this position, like if you look at the eval bar, even though White's a pawn up, it does think it's equal. And I was saying here, I was like, okay, Nick's won a pawn, but like to be fair, this pawn isn't that great. It's like this pawn.
No, that's what I was saying. I feel like because you take on D6, you actually free Black's position, and I get some play. But obviously, I didn't really follow it up correctly. So Queen E3, maybe I should just go B5 directly after Queen E3. Actually, would have been a better move.
That's why I thought like a bit before I took the pawn, because maybe if I should just not take on D6 and carry on with G5 and H4 and try to attack you.
But what would you have played if Daniel played B5?
I have no idea. I mean, I cannot play A3 because he takes on B3 and...
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I will just leave it and meet B4 with Knight D5 and drop the rook back. No, if he goes B4, then I go... If
Why don't you just take the pawn on A6? Why don't you just grab the pawn on A6? What am I missing?
Yeah, actually.
This reminds you of the Carlson Nepo analysis.
You don't like taking pawns.
No, I do. I am addicted to winning material. That's
they're beneath you.
Yeah, is it my fault? I told Nick he has to be less materialistic. It's all my fault.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably Black is punting. You know, this is a bit of a gamble. I've not necessarily got enough compensation. So, but I think maybe Queen C7 wasn't that bad. I don't know. You know, it's probably okay, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe Queen E7 was another move. But
I think on C7 it's more natural. Like, what is he doing? The Queen doing on E7?
But here I felt like after B5, I thought, you know, I'm rocking and rolling. Bishop B3 was played. Maybe around about here I had better moves.
Yeah, no,
maybe Knight C4. Maybe Knight C4 was an option.
The computer hates Bishop D3, so we need to try and find an improvement for
Rook H2 or
Rook H2.
Rook H2. There's a Knight D3.
Yeah. Okay, so that doesn't work. But I was thinking maybe Rook D1 was a mistake. I should have went Rook D2, so the Rook D5.
Yeah. But having played that, yes, you probably maybe Queen D4 instead of Rook H2 with the idea that you prevent.
Thank you for the follow, Crazy Quest. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. How are you doing today? We're dying. Well, I'm dying. Illness.
Okay, I could simply go Queen F2,
Ooh.
but Queen D4 might be another move.
Okay, so
It's
are
Queen
we saying
D4.
you have to play Rook D2? Because that looks
I
bad
don't
as
like
well.
Rook D2. It looks too passive.
Queen somewhere?
No.
Queen
I
D4.
meant when you went Queen C7, I go 17th move Rook D2. Instead of
Yeah.
Rook D1.
But
Right,
you
I'm
haven't
also
played it.
obsessed.
You haven't played it, Nick. You've gone Rook D1.
There you go. The only move here is Queen D2. This is good for
Yeah.
white.
How do you know it's the only move though?
Because I put the computer on it.
But doesn't it show you like the best 3 moves or something?
Well, I tried Rook D2 and it hated it.
Uh,
I've the problem with Queen D4 is it's probably going to run into some kind of Rook FD8 problem or something like that. So yeah. No, I feel like this is okay for black, but I'm still punting a bit, right? Maybe knight F6 with the idea of B4.
yeah, because if you went Rook F8, I was planning to go knight D5 just to close the D file. Or
I feel, but now Queen D6 makes sense. Now Queen D6. Sorry, I made. Oh, but then I could take and go B4 and then take on D5. Take on E4. Sorry. Yeah.
But
apparently
white's completely winning.
Knight D5, because I tried to knight D7.
Yeah.
And also
The
A6.
knight E7 takes C8 and you protect D6. If he takes on E4. Yeah, this is good for white. Okay.
Yeah, this is... So yeah, Queen D2 there. There you go, Nick. That would have been an improvement. But to be fair, it's not easy to see this stuff like Bishop D3. It looks natural. Right, you defend this, if this knight moves away, you have to...
Oh, you know what I missed here? I could just simply take on D3 because I've got it. If you take with the pawn, I've got B4.
Yeah, but he's not going to take with the pawn. Why can't you just take with the queen and then have the same kind of idea?
Oh, maybe I should go. Should I go B4 immediately then?
No, I think white would be quite happy if he'd taken off.
Maybe B4 was better, Zoe, instead of
okay, B4, knight D5?
Yeah, knight D5 now.
And then I take and go A5 with some play, maybe. No, it doesn't really work. Okay. Go back to this position. There's got to be a good move here.
I think your
maybe knight B6 is okay then.
was actually decent. What about Rook D8 as a move? Just sort of like prophylactically going, well, if I take and your queen takes. Yeah, I do learn some things from you.
I mean, the thing is, exactly, Zoe. Yeah, you learn the prophylaxis of the Gorm. But the thing is, I think that black's position is much easier to play here, and I'm much more active.
You don't want to be trading this off, though. Yeah.
I wouldn't want to play white here because Nick was saying this is plan to go G5 H4. That's terribly slow here because it's direct.
because there's like nothing for you to attack. That's the problem.
Danny, I was meaning to not grab the pawn on D6 and just carry on with G5 and H4 like many moves before.
Probably you should have done that because now I get loads of play like knight B6. But I misplayed it again in a minute.
Maybe I could defend.
I've really got a good position.
Yeah, I think Nick, you needed to just realize how annoying this queen was and try and aim for the plan of putting your.
But
queen
after
on,
King B1,
like,
there's an interesting move there. Maybe. Like knight A4 might be an option, or knight C4. I think knight C4 might be an option here.
The B knight or the E knight?
The B knight, maybe. You know.
Okay, I'll chop, and you take with the knight or with the pawn.
Yeah. Take with the knight.
Take with the knight. But now, can we not again go for this plan of trying to like?
Yeah, but he has Rook FD8.
That is frustrating, actually.
I mean, you go Queen D4 if Rook FD8, just knight D5.
Okay. Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot.
What about some tactics like knight A3 doesn't work, hey? You just take on C2 and go
you just take it because you're covering all the squares.
Yeah, I cover the Q square, which is,
So I think actually maybe knight C4 isn't correct, but it feels like there's like Garrick Kasparov would find a good move here as black. Maybe knight
A4 is another one you suggest.
Yeah, I think knight A4 might be the move.
But...
It feels like black's got very good attack. Because also now, if you go knight D5, I take and go knight C4. And then when you take, I take back the pawn. And this looks terrific for black. You know, knight C4, bishop takes, pawn takes. Huge attack. If knight D4
if I go knight D4, Or,
Yeah,
or
but
maybe
there's
I can
loads
also
of
throw
good moves
D6
there,
in,
like
maybe.
Queen B6 or C3.
Oh, thank you
Yeah.
for the follow, Drunk Chas.
My
Do
plan
you
was
like?
to
Do you
stick-
guys like playing Drunk Chas?
Yeah, I can do that. I can do that.
I
I'm
prefer
not-
just being drunk. I don't really care about
I'm not very good at playing
Rook
chess.
B8.
when I'm
Rook
drunk.
B8's a good move here. Rook B8's a good
When
move.
when you beat me in the bar in Northumbria, you were drunk,
Yeah.
or at least you had one beer, which I hadn't. So I think that was an
Yeah.
advantage for you.
You were drunk.
It's
Thank
an
you for the
advantage for
follow,
me.
4-player chess as well.
Yeah, I
Four-player
feel
chess.
like
I don't play 4-player chess either. I don't play drunk chess or 4-player chess. Maybe I should play both. Maybe I should play drunk 4-player chess. Is that a new thing?
Well,
I feel like I play better. I play better when I'm drunk, actually. Yeah. Yeah.
it gives you like more energy and maybe more confidence. And
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
met
I
a
really-
couple of people that say that their blitz ratings significantly go up.
I've got a
the more
really
drunk
tough
they
tournament
get.
coming up in about a week. Well, you're playing the same thing.
Yeah,
you're
I'm
playing
playing the women's one. Yeah, you're
the
playing
British
the
Women's Rapid Play. Sorry, the English Rapid Play Championship for women, and I'm playing the male version, or the open version, but it's really tough because you've got people like Adams and McShane. And the thing is, I looked at the hotels yesterday, Zoe, and the hotels in London, like they're literally like, you look at the reviews and it goes, do not stay here.
The timings work well to stay elsewhere, so go stay somewhere like an
Yeah.
hour's train route away. It's near Marylebone Station, right?
It's near Marylebone. Yeah, I know it's in Marylebone, but all the hotels in Marylebone are like either
Yeah,
really
well, stay an
expensive.
hour away from the station, and it's great. That's what I'm doing. Oh, you watched back the VOD? I was doing 4-player. Oh, was that the like variants edition of the thing? I played. I swear I lost all my games.
I don't understand why Rook B8 isn't just winning, Zoe. Why is that not good?
B3?
Oh, Queen A3, baby. No, can't be. King A1, baby. King A1's a good move. King A1, and if Rook B2, there's Queen A3. With
Whoa.
Grandmaster tactics.
and if Queen D7, I go Knight C6, I guess. or-
Yeah, it starts getting too murky. So I think, and if you take with the knight, I have like Rook B1, and it starts again.
Not
it's
well
murky.
enough to follow.
Okay.
So
I'll
probably-
probably see this.
Instead of Rook B8, there's probably better moves there, like C3 or Queen B6 or something, you know.
I was thinking instead of King A1 to go B3, like a more human move. I don't know how bad it is. Probably it is.
Well, Danny would have been quite happy if you'd done this, I think.
okay.
Take
but-
a knight C3 and nothing else.
Yeah.
you win an exchange. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, Queen A5's another move, but yeah.
But yeah,
okay,
King
well.
A1. What a grandmaster move, Danny. Get you.
Prophylaxis.
Get you, Danny.
Well, I'm a
Absolutely
GM for a reason,
beautiful
Zoe.
with this idea.
I'm a reason. You know.
And then if they take with the knight, we're going.
Rook B1. Rook B1, it's murky.
Okay, so their choices are like C3 or knight A4.
Something like that. Yeah.
Also, knight C6 was a move instead of Rook B1. Knight C6 immediately.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Knight C6. The computer
probably
absolutely
isn't.
hates that. You can't follow up your genius move. Right, let's see what it says.
No, initially I wanted to go Rook B1, but then I saw the evaluation bar was dropping off. It was actually.
It thinks you can literally just go Rook E1 with the idea that this knight's not going anywhere, and when you save it, we come for an attack with knight F5.
Yeah, nice.
And then you have to be a bit careful.
Because I think humans are very reactive, Zoe. I guarantee that probably 90% of amateur players would assume that after Rook B8, White is lost.
No,
You know,
this is absolutely beautiful though. In this position, when you're like massively under attack and panicking and you can't go B3, to just calmly play King A1, because if they take with the Rook, you have Queen A3 and you're winning a piece. And if they take with the Knight, just really calmly move your Rook away and go, well, I'm going to come and attack your King and your Knight's stuck here doing nothing.
That's what I mean. I think 90% of amateur players will panic there, Zoe.
That's absolutely beautiful. You know what? That's going to be my position of the day. I might put this on Twitter. I might put this position and just be like, White to play, give some lines.
Yeah. I think you're learning. I think you're
I'm
like
going
that
to screenshot this.
You're like that computer Skynet. You're learning exponentially. You know, soon you would fire your targets against Russia and launch a counterattack against your targets in the USA.
Screenshot.
Yeah, I think this is good for. Yeah, so probably not Rook B8. Probably some other move like C3 or Queen B6 or something. You know, but it feels like
That's really nice.
Black's definitely got good play here.
Yeah, so
Queen
that was
B6,
if
you
you
still
went
have
for
Queen
knight
A3, so
A4, right? This is what we're looking at. Knight A4 takes knight D4, and then this
initially
is where we need to find a move.
maybe C3 is a good move, and if you go B3, I have attacking chances with Queen C5 or something like that.
B3.
Yeah, but I have Queen C1 at the end, so it's not that easy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the computer.
Yeah, because you got knight B3 also to
hates
block the
this as
B
well.
file. You could go knight B2 maybe, but it looks a bit naff. Maybe Queen B6 though. It's Queen B6 is a move.
We just
But
keep
then
trying and stuff. There you go.
Well,
You've actually found a move. You found the move. You found the move.
It's tough to break the computer's defenses. Oh, I suddenly realised after Queen A3 you go C3.
I thought this was your plan.
This is nice. And now knight B2. Very nice.
Oh.
Very nice. I'm very happy with that. Fine. Oh no, hang on. The computer is not happy. Maybe
Yeah. Now
Knight
I'm...
C6, yeah.
Oh
And
my
I have the
god!
passed
What
pawn.
are these tactics? This is insane. Or maybe knight F5 slightly better than knight C6.
Knight F5 is even better. Yeah.
Because we still got the same like idea, but then you're not.
Yeah.
You can push the pawn straight away, right?
It's amazing the resources the computer finds. Initially, you think, well, black must be
Yeah,
winning,
because you were thinking,
attack
oh
the
well,
B file.
like the knight was attacked, and then the rook's attacked, and then you can't move the rook to stay defending the knight. But no, we just calmly play knight F5.
So I'm sacrificing the exchange, or if you take on D1, I'd go 97, I guess.
Well, yeah, you could also go 97 and just.
Because
And also
F8
you-
will behind, so you need to take on.
Yeah, you have to take
and then I
back.
take D1.
Take back. And our rook
And here
take.
I'm getting
Boom.
close to winning.
That pawn's gonna win you the game.
I mean, my favorite chess quote is the one by Nimzovich in his book My System, and it says, "The passed pawn is a criminal that must be held under lock and key. Mild measures such as police surveillance are not sufficient." And my favorite way to win a chess game is by pushing a passed pawn.
Passed pawns must be pushed. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's really. Oh, this stuff's really. Okay, so hang on. So we found this
But
line.
we went a bit too far, I think.
No, I'm still intrigued. So it liked Queen B6, but after Queen A3, it does not like C3.
Maybe you can just move the knight. Oh no, you can also go rook B8. Sorry, rook B8.
Now Rook B8. The computer still
Yeah.
thinks it's just dead drawn though. So
How
okay,
though?
so you can't take because of this.
Maybe knight C6 and you take with the queen.
No, I think
Yeah,
King
but then
A1
can we
anyway.
not-
I think King A1 anyway. King A1.
King A1 anyway. And if you take
Well, this is not that bad after the queens are off, right?
is it still all about this pawn?
Probably, yeah. I mean,
There's counterplay here for black, yeah. Because if you move the knight, I take on C2 probably, and I'm threatening knight C3 then. So maybe that's enough to hold. But yeah, I agree. I would prefer to be white
This
here.
is really,
Yeah, me
really
too.
cool. So just King A1 again. So calm. This is really instructional chess. Okay, I'm gonna show you this drawing line the computer's found. Knight takes B2.
Yeah,
Rook D2.
yeah.
okay.
Rook E8. Knight C6. Rook B7.
Yeah.
Rook D4. And then
Knight D3 or something.
And then
yeah.
now we have a repetition with Queen B5, Knight A7, Queen B6, Knight C6.
Yeah, because if you take on A7, I take on B2 with the queen, right? Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that's a white.
god, that's the right. This is the computer drawing line from this
Yeah, but it's
position after,
kind of. I
after
think
King
some of those
A1.
moves were a little bit silly.
So
but
that's Knight here. We save the Rook. We develop threatening stuff. You threaten our Rook. We save it. You go Rook D4. I'm not really sure who's threatening what. And then for some reason, repeating the position's the best the computer can find.
yeah, but the thing is, I think unless it's Carlson Nepa, I think most humans aren't going to find it. I think the thing is, it's. I think
Imagine
you
if
can.
we saw that in the Carlson Nepo match. I'd rate that. That would be a much more exciting kind of game.
I think you can find King A.
Well-
I think you can find Queen A3 and King A1 though. I think you can find that over the board. I think that's possible. You know, I mean, I found Queen A3 tonight. So
Oh, Zoram, thank you for the bits. How are you doing?
Maybe not in a 3-minute game, though. Maybe in a standard game, you could find stuff like that.
That is so ridiculous. Okay. So that was after Knight A4. Right, let's go back and see what actually happened in the game, because there was still some interesting stuff. So you went B4.
Because I thought I set a trap in, because I thought after knight d5, right, which he played,
Yeah.
I took, and then I took with the bishop, and I was hoping for bishop. It didn't fall for my trap. Bishop h7, king h7, rook d5. Oh no, hang on, it doesn't win. Oh, I'm not winning then. I thought I was queen c2 and it's mate.
Did I have this?
No, I've
but
got
still,
even
the
queen
engine
b2 here.
Yeah,
queen
but-
b2 and knights.
Right, here's
I can swap the
c4
queens
is
with queen d3. I have queen d3 in knight c4.
Yeah, queen b2 might be good though. Queen b2 and knight c4 and then knight e3. And I'm
Wait,
pulled
wait.
up in the end.
Oh, because it's check. Oh
So
my god.
queen takes b2 and then knight
Yeah.
c4.
Yeah, and then take on
Check.
e3.
Good aim,
What's
mates.
happening?
You're right. I'm good. Yeah, I have a new adopted brother now. We're analysing the games. Welcome to Nick, my new adopted brother.
Thank you. And
I've
Yeah,
adopted the
family
whole
tree.
family.
Yeah, no, Danny, we're gonna introduce Family Fridays, where you try and extend our family and you play an adoption match every.
Oh, really? That could be worrying. I think I could be up against some real sharks here, you know.
Yeah, but we're also I want more granddads. So
Maybe
we're
someone
gonna,
could try and adopt me. Maybe
yeah,
that
I
could
want to
come on.
try and persuade Jabava to adopt you.
Yeah, somebody to adopt me. Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty that maybe even like quite weak
Might as well
players
adopt
could
one.
adopt me. I often lose like 5-0 to players who haven't got particularly high ratings. You know.
But yeah, I'm gonna make a beautiful family tree, and we're gonna try and really, really extend it. We're gonna.
We should do like we should do
Oh, Simon Williams! You want to see Ginger GM try and adopt Danny, or you want to see Danny try and adopt him?
Well, it's funny actually. We used to share a flat in Crystal Palace, and we played loads.
Ginger
we
Uncle. That's a fair point. Maybe
played
Simon
loads
needs
and
to
loads of it.
play against the chess.com computer. So if he gets adopted by that, then he becomes my uncle and brother.
I could do another rematch against the chess because I've got like 1 or 2 draws against it recently, so I feel like I could probably avoid being adopted against it. So if I fail to lose 10-0, does that mean I adopt it?
No, you have to win 10-0 to adopt anything. And also, you're
Oh, so-
already adopted. You can't like go back on your adoption.
So I avoid adoption. Maybe
You can't disown. I quite like having a computer as a granddad. You can't disown.
Maybe I release my own adoption.
No. You've got to be proud of having a chess computer as a dad. That's something to be proud about.
Is there like a Komodo song or like a Stockfish song or something? It should be like a theme tune,
Maybe you should make one. Recording artist. Who's next up the ladder? Hal. You want to see if Hal can adopt you?
He generally does adopt me. Like when we play over the board, like his classical score against me is pretty crushing.
Why don't you ask him?
I don't think he'd be that interested, but yeah, it's possible.
But yeah, so Danny set a little trap. If Bishop takes h7.
Actually, I'm a big fan of Simon Williams because I've been playing the French defense for many years. Just I play knight d2 c5. I don't play knight d2, knight f6. So yeah, and I don't play.
So what happened after? Sorry, what happened? Sorry, yeah. What happened after? What was White's move? Yeah, rookie 1 was very. You played too sensible here, annoying me.
I didn't even consider to take on h7 and then d5 with c2 dropping. I mean, I just thought let's play normal, and I was lower on time, I guess. Maybe I was.
Yeah, I was really freaked out.
I think Danny was lower on time at this point.
Maybe.
I was really freaked out by how quickly and confidently you were playing because I wanted to take and then go bishop c4. So I took on d3, which looks like a sensible move.
Yeah.
And then I went bishop c4. Which actually might be a mistake. Maybe I should go rook d8 actually, because my whole plan is to go a5, right?
I prefer to move. Because then you get potentially great threat.
I missed queen d6, which is actually a fairly obvious move. But the whole point, because obviously I had low time, I'm blundering stuff, I'm missing stuff.
Hal has to be the final boss. You have to go through Jones and McShane first. Do you want to go through the entire English men's team?
Well, you say that, but actually I played against the top 4 players, which was Adams,
Maybe you
how,
should do a similar against them and see if you can get any points.
yeah, how McShane away in the Hastings online tournament last year, and I actually scored plus. I was unbeaten. I drew 3 and won 1. So I think I should be adopting them, not the other way around.
No, I
You
think
beat Adams
you
with
should
black,
do
right?
a similar against the England men's team, the one that we've just had. Do you play Mickey,
No, I mean, to be fair,
Dwayne,
they're obviously
Luke,
much stronger.
David, and Ravi, and play a similar against them? I rate that.
Well, Ravi wouldn't get Emos in. It was too weak.
You beat Adams with black, right? That was really
No, I'm only
impressive.
You play
kidding. Ravi,
similar
actually.
against them. Also, Ravi's decent. I think
Ravi's,
you should do this.
Ravi's
And
pretty
you
good. Ravi beat me the last
you
2
play
times.
a similar against them, and if you can get half a point out of 5, then you win the match.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, I know that these guys, well, maybe not Ravi's not much stronger than me, but, you know, he has been playing a lot recently. His brain's gone up. So, but I mean, I'm talking about FIDE ratings anyway. I mean, I know they're much stronger than me, and, you know, that's not even up for debate. You know, I played them lots of times and so on. But I feel like if I do a lot of work and, you know, if I'm really in form, the gap isn't that large, you know. So, yeah, they're good players, obviously. But yeah, I mean, you're rating for a reason. Do you know what I mean?
What are your odds against Nigel? Do we want to bring Nigel on stream?
He doesn't really like me very much. But anyway, Nigel would be favourite as well. I played Nigel before. I lost it.
If he doesn't like you, do you reckon that I could persuade him to have a match against you because he'll be out for blood?
He wouldn't play me. He wouldn't play me because just the slightest chance that he might lose would just send him into absolute orbit.
Right, disgusted.
You know, never mind adopted. I mean, you know, I could beat him overall, so that would just freak him out, and he wouldn't play me. But I think he's blocked me on all social media anyway. So
he hasn't blocked
Danny,
me.
you were threatening to block me on all social media if I had beaten you, right?
I think Danny's
yeah, I would have done. Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
If
but
you
don't put
up,
your chest until I block you.
If I got given £1 for the total of everyone Danny's blocked plus everyone who's blocked Danny,
yeah,
how rich do you reckon I'd be?
Yeah, you'd be fairly well off. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing is,
Nick's just.
I'm somebody who actually gets offended quite easily, despite what appears to be a laid-back personality. I easily get offended. Well, this position, Zoe, A5 is always a good plan for black.
Yeah, no, I really like this idea of just rook d8. You're keeping pieces on, playing actively. You were low on time, so like going for these pushes. It reminds me of like what Malcolm and Lauren were saying to me at Europeans about instead of trying to complicate things and calculate stuff, just playing a decent move like rook f8 is always going to be a good move. Exactly. You're not going to lose if you play it. Yeah,
that's where you often fall down, Zoe. I think, you know, like I think Malcolm understood that as well, that sometimes you just need to improve your position.
Yeah, Malcolm's great. I love Malcolm.
Just play good positional moves. You know, you got to have that ability. You know, that's why Carlson is set apart from the rest, because his positional ability is so high. So he could just make lots and lots of very good moves. And also why he's good at blitz as well, because he'll just throw a lot of moves out the board and, you know, lots of natural good positional moves.
Yeah.
And, you know, you don't necessarily need to go nuts. I think people get too carried away.
Just play decent positional moves and wait for your opponent to make a mistake.
Over the board.
And yeah, he was also saying an interesting thing about like not trying to refute inaccuracies and stuff, because if they're making one mistake and other ones come, and you refute massive mistakes or blunders, you don't refute inaccuracies. Yeah, he gave me really good advice. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you're working too hard at the board. But actually, there's an interesting trap here, because after rook d8, I could try queen e2 with a threat of rook d5, but then you've got h6, and it's okay.
Yeah, so just to show, if black blunders with a5, then you can take here, because if rook takes, there's this checkmating idea. Puzzle rush tactics, guys. Puzzle rush tactics. I've heard. He's been playing the Berlin lately, so his opponents would stop playing e4 and switch to d4. So he can play his King's Indian. Yeah, actually, Gawain started playing e5. He had some really cool games at Europeans, because obviously he was on my team. I was watching a lot of his games. He had a beautiful win in the King's Indian against Jesper. That was really nice. And then he had some like interesting e4, e5.
Wasn't he completely lost in that game?
I think there was some kind of time scramble where the eval kept jumping between them. But
actually, Gawain is somebody I do reasonably well against, or obviously he's a much stronger player than I am, but because
yeah, you can just play H6.
he's quite tactical, so I kind of understand his style a little bit better than when I play like David. He's very solid positionally, and I find it a little bit
Intimidating.
tricky to play against. Yeah, very intimidating. But yeah, so really I want to go like A5. It's a very typical play. Go A5, A4, and then you got opportunities to go B3 and open up the position. But I obviously did it in the wrong order. Now, in a classical game, I would have gone Rook B8, no question. But in a blitz, I kind of panicked and went A5, which was obviously a mistake, right?
But yeah, you went Bishop
So
C4.
I went Bishop C4, which is obviously a mistake because now after Queen D6.
Yeah, the problem is it allows the queens off, and when the queens are off, like you're not going to have this same kind of attack.
Because I nearly blundered again after Queen. I nearly panicked after Queen D6 and went something like Queen A7, forgetting about B4, and then it really would have been horrible.
What, you almost went here to try and keep the queens on?
Well, because I just, again, you start blundering. And
Nick's there, like, why didn't you do that?
Yeah, but then
I didn't mind what happened in the game. I think I had good chances until I hung.
Yeah, but I didn't want the queens to come off because I thought these chances.
Allowing these queens to come off was definitely not the best way.
What did I play? I went like Rook
I was comfortable here, to be honest.
So the rook's doubled up.
So I took and went.
And then you went for H5. Yeah, why? I was a bit confused by this move.
But again, I'm not trying to analyse properly. I'm just trying to get moves out there and avoid losing on time and just play.
Yeah, but playing a move that just gives up a pawn isn't. Is it to try and like create a pass pawn?
Well, you say that, but
it's also a space for his king.
But both his pawns are then weak. So
but like, let's say you played H6 instead.
Well, obviously, I'm not denying that H6 is a much better move. But what I'm saying, H5 isn't necessarily as practically as bad as you think because I've got ideas of going Bishop E6.
Yeah, it makes sense. I was just okay.
No, I mean I agree with you. It's not a good move.
So Rook E8, A3.
Here, maybe instead of A3, I should go King C1. It's better, eh?
Yeah, you're better now. Yeah.
No, I mean King C1 is better than A3, but am I better?
Yeah,
I think you're better.
You don't want to touch these pawns, yeah.
Because you could always throw it at H6 anyway if I attack your H4, and I could go Rook
G6 though.
Also, the time situation, you were way up on time at this point.
Maybe I could go
5 points in the King's Indian.
He mated me on 4 seconds, so I wasn't far at all. And it was the first game, so it could change the whole picture psychologically.
Well, if I lost this game, then that's it. I would storm it off. There wouldn't be a round 2.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been allowed to storm off.
Well, I mean, really, I think, Danny, you are a really nice person, and I'm happy to have you as my dad.
Thank you. The check's in the post, mate.
You bother to analyze with people like me that are like 600 points lower rated, and you stream, you share your knowledge. I think you're a really nice person. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Are you single?
Yeah, I am.
He's his son, Danny. He's his son.
I can't date my son.
It's forbidden.
Yeah, maybe
just 3 points just for playing the King's Indian. See, I want to learn the King's Indian. I want to learn the King's Indian. Danny, what do you think about me learning the King's Indian?
I wouldn't play that. It's a terrible opening. I lost. I had a horrible game. I lost against Andy Ledger in the British, and I just feel like the King's Indian. It just get like if you're a good tactical player, like I feel I am. You're not really playing to your strengths if you're playing the King's Indian because you're not really getting your pieces out, and you kind of.
But it's attacking. I like attacking chess.
Yeah, but I used to play it all the time when I was younger. I used to get good results.
Also, I'm a 2000 player playing against. Yeah, I'm not playing against 26.
I'm not saying the King's Indian isn't an okay opening. I just feel like the better way for you is to learn stuff like the Nimzo and the Slav and the
Yeah, but
I feel like
the Nimzo is positional.
Yeah, I don't want positional stuff. I need something against D4 that's attacking and not positional.
Black is okay here. Rook E5, and if H6, then G6, and then go Rook H5. And Black is okay.
Ignoring me.
And Rook H5 comes, and you get play. I mean, it's okay for Black. It's
just kind of equal, right? Yeah, this is the thing. I thought this was going to be a draw at this point, and then obviously you just blundered.
Yeah, rook d4 would be a much better move, for example.
Oh, I think
rook d4,
A4
A4 is a better move.
was
Because
a
rook d4, I go bishop e6
Wait,
anyway. So.
Is this the critical moment when I hang the piece, or yeah, it is.
Yeah, you hang the piece. Yeah.
So what
rook
should I do
D4.
here?
No, but then bishop e6. And but you still got a4. So
But then A4. Or actually, do you even?
It's still hard. It's still hard to release the.
Do you even have C4 here? Or is that
I could take on c3. Take on c3.
Oh, because there's the check. I was thinking you don't, because you don't have A4.
Check. I don't
but
have
you
rook
have the
d2 because
check.
bishop takes b3.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
No, yeah.
It is quite difficult, and that's what it says.
Yeah, I think maybe it's trickier than you think.
Apparently, this is equal.
Okay, yeah.
No, I'm not
that's
surprised.
hard to find over the board. That's hard to find. Yeah, you got a much worse version of this because you ended up with one pass pawn, which wasn't enough to save the game. Because I could always give up that pawn with my bishop and then win on the king side with a king and rook.
Yeah, because
true,
now, to be fair, this.
I think actually, if you found this, he would have been favourite because of the time situation.
Yeah,
I'd rather be here white.
And also because of the fact that you have to win, Danny. And this was the issue you had in the game against me before, where you missed because you missed the win, and then like it was just a dead equal position, but you tried to win an equal position, and then obviously I won.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. What are your odds against Nigel? What, of losing 10-0?
Is he that better than you? I mean,
I don't think Nigel is that much better than me these days. Obviously, back in the day, he was a phenomenally strong player, but I think obviously he doesn't really play that much. I mean, no question, he's a stronger player, but he's not probably as far ahead of me as he once was. So I think, and obviously you get older, don't you? But yeah, I mean, no question. I mean, Nigel was really, really strong player. I mean, I don't particularly like him as a person, but you can't doubt his chess ability. He's like right up there.
Thank you for the follows, guys. Appreciate it.
Nigel happens to be the favorite player of my mother because of his King March with Timan in 1991.
Oh yeah, that was an amazing game.
My mother is like a beginner, like 1200, and what impressed her was how he marched the king to attack the other king with the queens and all those pieces on the board. That's what amazed me.
It was a beautiful game. It was a really beautiful game. I mean, for a reason. I must admit though, Zoe, do you find that? I don't know if you guys find that. When I was younger, there were like games like that really impressive. I was like, wow, this is just exciting. And now I'm like, there's no game that really gets, really excites me that way.
The thing is, in the candidates, there were some games. There was, who was
Aronian with Kramnik.
There was also there were some Nepo games from the candidates that were really exciting, and
I'm not doubting that. I don't think you're understanding the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is there's certain excitement that you feel when you're younger, and I felt that with chess. With certain games, it was like wow, but I never feel that now. Maybe that's just a question.
I do, but I still am convinced that I have a 12-year-old brain inside my head.
When I watched Diego Maradona score a goal against England in the World Cup in 1986, I was like, wow, what an amazing goal that was, phenomenal goal. And I was like, so excited. But now if I saw a goal like that, I just wouldn't get excited. So maybe it's just a thing when you get older, you just don't get excited about stuff anymore, which is a bit sad in a way, isn't it? I want to have that child sense of wonderment come back.
I still have that. I've literally got antlers on right now. I am like a child inside, right? Santa still comes to see me.
Yeah, but you might claim
the Easter Bunny still comes to me.
You're actually an adult in reality, so it's not quite the same thing.
No, I get so excited over stuff. No, I get this excitement.
That's the thing, if you look at the World Championship, like in the press conference, they look so miserable, these guys. You're like, cheer up. Do you know what I mean? You played a match in the World Championship. You're two of the best players in the world. You played for millions of pounds or whatever. You're in one of the best cities in the world, beautiful city. You're surrounded by, fantastic views and everything. And you both look like you want to top yourself.
You know what's quite funny? When I played Europeans, I got so excited before every game. I think it probably drove my team a bit insane. I was getting really sort of giddy and excited. I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited to play chess. This is going to be amazing. All of that. Like
generally,
seriously, I was like absolutely like. I mean, obviously you're still nervous and stuff as well.
Yeah,
but I was like
yeah.
really giddy, and I was just like really enjoying it.
But generally, you're a well-liked person. That's what I noticed. So people generally gravitate towards you, and
Because I'm too positive.
yeah, because
Yeah,
you're a
I
nice person, and you're generally, you know, you're not sort of bitchy, and you're not kind of, you know, taking sides, and yeah, and you know, people take that for granted, but in reality, that's not actually the case, you know. So, I think you are a
You're making
well-liked
me
person.
blush, Danny.
It's not just the chess that I like in your channel, it's also the positivity which we need, especially in times like that with the lockdowns and all that. So yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. You're a positive person. Yeah,
See, I'm actually genuinely like that in real life as well. Like obviously,
Positively annoying.
obviously, it probably does really annoy people every time everyone says something really bad, and I'm like, but hang on, like it's positive because of this. Then I was having a really tough time these last few days because I was like, oh, my phone broke. I had to factory restore it. I lost everything, and then I was also like really ill the last couple of days. And someone asked how I was, and I was like, well, I'm not dead yet, so it's great, isn't it? Life is great. I was like,
but I also feel like that positivity, because I remember you lost that game at Scarborough. You lost in round 1.
yeah.
And I would have been so upset there, and I, you know, losing to like junior players like about 10 or 11 or whatever.
I also lost from a junior in Scarborough. I had not out of 2 after losing to a junior.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of them around. That's the thing.
And then I won.
And a lot of them are very good. They're very good because of like this is what I was saying about the lockdowns actually helped a lot of people. And
I mean, obviously,
yeah.
I do get upset over a loss, right? I want to win.
Oh, no
I'm
doubt,
competitive.
no doubt.
But then
I think you've got better like that. You probably through discussions with me and you understand. You know, I think one of the ways you can improve your psychology in chess, so which I think is very important, is actually to watch a lot of sports. And I think that's how.
That's a waste of time.
My psychology has improved because I've watched a lot of sports over the last few years. You know, particularly like golf and so on. Well, horse racing doesn't really improve my psychology that much because obviously it's horses, but to some extent it might do. And I feel that improves your psychology and you understand how to deal with certain situations. Do you know what I mean? So like here, for example, I was like panicking a little bit because at the time I was very unsure whether I'd make enough.
Yeah, this was such impressive conversion. I think you had like 20 seconds at this point or something.
Oh, really? Yeah. Maybe the bullet training was coming
but at the end, I think I missed something. Not that I would win, but I would flag him and at least make a draw.
But even like if you go to move 35, when I went rookie 4, Zoe, you know, like I was a little bit concerned there about just
yeah, I said though because I was looking at this on the stream and I was expecting like some kind of this, and then I was like, I absolutely love this rookie 4 move because of the whole fact that you want to just stop any counterplay with this B pawn. I thought that was brilliant. Hey, Zora asked what the chess equivalent to Maradona's Hand of God goal.
Is it that good?
No, what is the chess equivalent? I think that's what they're asking.
Oh, what is the chess equivalent to Maradona's Hand of God goal? Well, that's a good question. I would say it's actually
Fischer with that guy 13 years old.
Sorry? No. He's talking about Hand of God, which is where Maradona. So I think it was the first goal that Maradona scored was like the slalom through the team. It's actually a funny story because Terry Butcher was in that team. He was one of the defenders Diego Maradona scored against. And I was at Peterborough Station going to Forncell a few years ago. And I went up to this guy randomly and I said, oh, do you know the platform for the trains to Leicester or whatever, right? And he goes, oh, yeah, you go over there, blah, blah, blah. And then I thought, oh, hang on a minute. And I was thinking, like, hang on a minute. That was Terry Butcher. I randomly went up to this, like, famous footballer and, like, asked him for directions, yeah? But in answer to your question, Zora, I would say it was probably, it was maybe something like Gary Kasparov playing against Judith Polgar in Linares, where Judith Polgar was, well, actually, Gary had a better position, or maybe winning position, or close to winning. He picked up a knight, put it on a square, and then he actually took his hand off it for a very brief amount of time, and then picked it up and then put it on, picked it up, moved it back, and then put it on another square. And Judith Polgar was like going to the arbiters, like, what's going on? You know, he's basically cheating against me. And, but they let him get away with it.
There's a video of that on YouTube, actually, and I think Polgar was right. in that game.
Yeah, of course he was right. Yeah. I mean, sure, if he claimed it, I'm sure this is correct. So he should have done a gentlemanly thing and resigned the game, but obviously doesn't want to lose.
That's so bad. That's really bad sportsmanship.
No, I would say just play what he was going to play and carry on the game from there, but not try to take back the move. I mean, afterwards...
I was worried about King A3 here, but I can go Rook C3 now, I noticed, because if you go Rook E3, because
yeah,
if you go
that's what I thought your plan was.
If you go Rook C3, I could just trade and go F5, which I didn't realise in the game. I could just trade and go F5, and your king doesn't get back in time.
Yeah, because your bishop's too quick.
No, my king is in time, but I'm losing. Yeah.
But in any case, I could stop your pawns. I could go like King D2, F4, King C2. Bishop E3, for example, is winning,
you
right?
take on H3 or something, right?
You can also take on B3 because my king won't have time to take there.
Yeah, and then I can stop your pawns with my bishop. And,
he remembers that game. It's a good option because he definitely took his hand. Oh, poor Judith then.
I can send you the video on YouTube where it shows.
Put it in my Discord.
Okay. Sure.
In the...
And also, I remember there's a famous game poker with Kasparov where Kasparov won with a rook and ran against a rook in 1994.
I tried to win one of them once. I tried to win rook and knight against rook. It was a very painful hour of my life. It's really easy to hold. I was just trying to win it because I was annoyed because I was like winning the entire game, right? And then I forgot that rook and knight versus rook was a draw. So then I like traded off the pawns to be a piece up, and then I ended up, and it was a draw, and it was really tragic.
They had a lot of good games. I mean, there was some game at VK Zoe where they analysed it afterwards. It was really impressive watching Kasparov analyse. It was like really amazing how much he saw, you know. And but unfortunately, I couldn't find that. I watched it like when it first came out, but I couldn't find that video recently. But Kasparov was an amazing player, you know. Like, I mean, we need something like that in this World Championship to kind of light that up, you know, some kind of fireworks, some kind of pyrotechnics. But yeah, okay, I think this is just I think basically it was fairly easy technical conversion. It was just a clock.
I just want to it was really, really impressive though. This rook e4 and then just stopping any kind of counterplay. I really liked this, like keeping the rook there, and then this stuff like you stop the counterplay.
I just want to say
I'm willing to give up the bishop for the pawn. Probably I don't need to somehow. There's probably ways that I don't need to, but and then
even in your time trouble, realizing obviously you don't want to take because of that. I mean, maybe it's still winning.
Well, it's still winning, but
still winning. It's still winning.
It's easier for flagging. Yeah, it's just like the accuracy.
I just want to see at the end, like play on. I just want to see because at some point I think I missed something just to flag him. Yeah. Okay, this is all normal and
really,
and
why did you go?
Yeah, here I wanted to just I mouse slipped here.
Yeah, I thought you mouse slipped.
Yeah, if I had taken how much time did you have?
I think I'm struggling to get there in time. You're right. Yeah, it might well have been
like 6 seconds or something. Here I would have just run, and I think I would have held it. So
okay, so can you not pre-move the entire game? 1, 2,
I could but I'm very slow at doing
5, 6, 7, 8, 9 moves, 0.1 seconds per move.
Maybe I would hide behind the pawn though. King d3, king d4, king e5, and king f6 or something, so I can hide behind the.
Wait, no. This right? You can pre-move this. Okay, where are you playing? King here.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go to the toilet for a second.
Yeah.
Right, we've pre-moved this entire thing.
Let's say king e5. King, wherever, king
and I'm
e4.
still pre-moving this though.
Okay,
well now I'll pre-move this way instead.
Would he be in time for this? I don't know.
Well, as I said, if you got it's basically you need 1 second to pre-move the win.
Because I know on.
Well, I can tell you what I can see what
Yeah, if you can show me how much time he had here, that would.
Let's see what Stockfish does. Wait, so Stockfish reckons it's mate in 9. Yeah, so I was right.
Yeah, but the clock. Can we see the clock? Like how much time we had?
I think it was probably about 10 seconds, wasn't it? Or 6.
I can see the replay of the stream. Yeah.
It was certainly more than 5 seconds, I think.
I'm not too sure about. Maybe it was 10.
Keith
Maybe
is
it was
really
10.
good at winning rook and bishop versus rook. I've done some work on rook and bishop versus rook recently to try and see how to win and how to draw. And yeah, I was looking through the 100 endgames you must know.
I have that book too.
Yeah, I was looking at the rook and bishop stuff and that. But yeah, no, I think I could have won this with the pre-moves just because it's like nine moves, right? You can do that. They wanted to cancel Maradona. I have no idea what this whole situation with Maradona's goal is all about. I don't keep up with football.
Me
So no one
too.
cares to explain.
Well, it was a famous incident where he basically, because you could obviously head a ball into a net, and he went up with the keeper. So they both went up for the same ball. Shilton and it all happened very quickly. Shilton and Maradona, and they were basically alone together, way ahead of all the other players. And Maradona sort of just lightly punched it into the net. Basically a blatant handball, cheating, just a blatant cheat. And obviously the keeper saw it, complained to the referee didn't it nowadays because they use VAR video assisted replays. The goal would get disallowed. And so we see Nick's he's doing a bit too much of a kinky selfie there, but anyway, it's
Bedroom tour from Nick.
Yeah. Anyway, so he called it a hand of God. Right?
Right.
And said, it's a hand of God or whatever. But obviously it was a disgrace. But at that point, Maradona was, the best player in the world. He was he more or less single-handedly allowed, enabled Argentina to win the World Cup. Because they probably didn't have as good a team as some of the other teams in the competition, but he was such a phenomenal player that he basically. And the same thing happened with Napoli. So people talk about Lionel Messi being a great player, but he's never won the World Cup. Ronaldo's never won the
Crucial
World Cup.
quarter-final game versus England. Yeah, I think I asked Nick to put it in my Discord later, so I'll have a look at it.
The game Polgar with Kasparov. You mean the video on YouTube where he took
I want that one. Yeah. Oh, I want the Maradona one as well. Yeah, someone get me the Maradona thing in my Discord as well.
Somebody sent me this. I just got this through the post. Beer 24. So they clearly know my inclination. I've got a credit card to buy beer.
You do realize you probably just flashed your address on stream. I don't really know how big it is. You're gonna have someone that can screenshot that and zoom in and get your address.
They'd probably scam me. Yeah. That was a bit
stalk you.
I have to edit this. Can you edit this out, please? Sorry. But yeah, I don't know if you wanted to look at any of the other games, though. But...
Probably don't want to do too much. I feel like I wanted to say something else. I want to say.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna say based on this whole cheating thing. Do you know what Brandon was telling us at the weekend about his game, right? So it's Brandon Clark, Danny's.
Oh, I remember this.
Danny's arch enemy, right? He was
What's
playing.
That?
He's your arch enemy at the moment because he keeps.
What, Brandon?
He keeps winning tournaments that you want to.
Oh yeah, I mentioned. Yeah. No, not at all. He's a good player. We're probably more or less same strength these days, but no. I welcome all that competition. But I was just making this joke that. He's coming up to all my haunts, like Northumbrian Masters, came there, won the tournament. He came to Scarborough. It looked like he was going to win, but Andy Ledger stopped him. So I'm trying to solve the Andy Ledger conundrum at the moment. I'm also trying to solve the Brandon Clark conundrum. So it's all but in reality, you should just focus on yourself.
You'll post the hand of... Oh, thanks, Sorum. I'll take a look.
I was watching an interview, I keep talking about different sports. I was watching an interview with Ronnie O'Sullivan, a snooker player. He said, He laughs a bit when the other good players get knocked out of the draw. And he was saying that he doesn't even really look at the draw. He doesn't care. People obsess too much about who they might play and so on.
Sounds like David. David at Europeans like, I don't even look at my pairings until just before the game. Supposedly, he claimed that for the Riga thing, that he didn't know he was playing Iranian until 10 minutes before the game. And then he beats him really quickly.
I don't know, but then how does he prepare the openings? So I find that hard to believe. But
who is that?
I think
that's what he said.
But
yeah, no, this Brandon story, right? So Brandon was playing some. I think it was an international master from India in the Foreign Sial on Saturday. And they had this rule at the 4NCL that you had to have your phone switched off and inside a box on the table. And his opponent's phone started like vibrating in the box. His phone was like vibrating and like shaking the box around. So obviously the phone was going off, so he should lose the game because the phone's off. So obviously Brandon stops the clock, gets the arbiter over, and was like, needs to do this. But when Brandon, because the arbiter doesn't like come over directly when he's got his hand up, Brandon has to go and walk over to the arbiter. And while he walks over to the arbiter, his opponent gets the phone and turns it off and puts it back in the box and claims that it didn't go off.
Well, I think the thing is, well, I look at it like that. I mean, you could look at it both ways. You could say, claim the game. At the same time, the guy has put the phone on the table. Okay, it's in a box, but it's still there on the table. It's not necessarily.
Yeah, but you could argue that leaving it on is distracting you. And also, just
I don't deny.
Just because you're not touching it doesn't mean it can't signal to you. Because the thing is,
technically, you could claim the game, but I would say in that situation, if he's turned it off, I'd say okay, fair enough. I've actually had 2 situations where my phone went off.
Completely. Because the reason, Danny, the reason your phone needs to be off, right? Because if you leave your phone on, you could really easily have some kind of earpiece in your ear or something that like links up via Bluetooth to the phone that directly tells you stuff. Like there are so many easy ways to cheat and get away with it.
I've actually had 2 situations where my phone has gone off during the game. Both times my opponents were gentlemen and they didn't claim it, and I was very, grateful for them at the time, and. I actually won both games, which was, and I think now if I had that situation, my phone went off, I would actually do the gentlemanly thing and resign the game. But at the time, I was like too desperate to win. I wasn't a gentleman, and I think you should do the gentlemanly thing. If your phone goes off,
you certainly don't lie and turn it off and pretend it wasn't on.
Yeah, I mean, that reminds me a little bit of Judith Polgar thing. We say Judith Polgar, Gary Kasparov. Oh, it's snowing here, by the way, which is interesting. But, I would say in that situation, I don't like that. I don't like it when people lie. Just admit that, obviously, he's worried there. He's worried that he's going to lose the game.
And surely, okay, if you admit you just say,
he's somebody who's come from India to play. And he's probably never played in the 4NCL before. And he thinks, well, hang on a minute, if I lose this game, they're going to all think I'm an idiot. So I don't want to lose this game.
Well, the fact that he hasn't played before doesn't mean he shouldn't know the regulations of the tournament. I mean, I always leave my phone in my room or not in the
if he's put the phone in the box, surely you should. Like, you're an international master. You know you're not allowed your phone.
But all I'm saying is, because he's playing in the 4NCL the first time, he's probably thinking, well, hang on a minute. I really don't want to lose this game by default because my phone's gone off and not even put up a fight, and that's just too embarrassing. So he's kind of panicked. In his defense, I agree with you, he should do the gentlemanly thing, but it's up to the arbiters to actually notice this. I mean, another thing that annoyed me, Zoe, was on the Saturday, a lot of things annoy me, right? I'm a very easily annoyed person. I'm probably annoyed now anyway, but I was playing paired against this guy, Jean-Luc Weller.
Oh, yeah.
And he was late for the game. And I went up to the arbiter, which is actually Shiraya, who you played with in the European Championships, right? She's on the same team as you. And I asked her, I said...
Oh, sure.
Sorry, Shiraya.
I think you pronounce it like, yeah.
Anyway, I said... how long is the default time? She said it's an hour. I was like, are you kidding? So I swore at her.
You know something, Danny? If you had actually read the regulations beforehand, which I did, I read every single rule in the thing. You would have seen that it was a 60-minute default.
Yeah, but what I would say is, I don't think there should be any leeway for being late. I feel like, No,
I think zero tolerance is a massive problem, because sometimes, like, if you're stuck in traffic, or it's not your fault that you'll be late. Because we had that I played Europeans once where there was a zero tolerance at the start, but they had to remove it because we were all traveling from hotels, and basically people had issues with the coach companies and
maybe half an hour
stuck in traffic and stuff. Yeah, so I think maybe, but even
half an hour is. But the point I'm trying to make, Zoe, is absolute torment. You're sat there, and you really don't know whether your opponent's going to turn up or not. And to me, that is just okay. I agree. It's probably a psychological weakness on my part, but I really always hate that situation because I'm completely unsure. And imagine if they turned up 58 minutes late, you'd feel completely crushed because you're mentally you're already chalking up the point, and then they turn up and they're like, "Hi, remember me?"
Another thing that can be very annoying for all the other players is if they turn up 58 minutes late and someone else is in time trouble, they come and they whip off their preparation.
But they wouldn't be in time trouble by then, would they?
Like the clock,
they're not an hour and 58 minutes late. They're 58 minutes late, so they're not going to be in time trouble by that point because obviously you could.
Still, but everyone is deep in fun and they come and they whip their preparation and the moves are going bang.
No, I think it's more about the opponent, Nick. To be fair, I think it's more about the opponent. You know, who cares about the other players? It's more about the opponent.
But no, Danny, I think.
And you're going to get upset, and quite rightfully so. I think, you know, I really don't think people should be allowed to be that late. And I think an hour is totally ridiculous. I think it should be universal. It should be a universal.
Well, maybe write to FIDE and say you want them to change the FIDE laws of chess. See what they say. But I think it's fine. And I think, Danny, I think it is a psychological weakness on your part. Because I used to have a similar
but
thing.
You shouldn't. No, Zoe, I don't agree.
Let me talk, Danny. I used
other
to have.
Sports, sorry.
Let me talk.
I'm getting an upset now because of this latest thing. I just feel like it's completely wrong that people should be allowed.
Right.
You're saying
I've had times where I've been late because because there's been a massive accident on a motorway, and despite leaving enough time to get there about an hour and a half before the game, I get stuck right at the front of an accident. 2 hours. And I know that if you don't leave yourself.
But you're saying
it
should be 2 hours now. You're saying it should be 2 hours you have to wait.
No, as in I would be like half an hour late because I would have allowed an hour and a half, but then I'm 2 hours delayed. And also, like, my train the other day was 2 hours late. You can't rely on stuff. Like, I have trains that are 2 hours late. What happens if you're relying on that? You can't try and get to a chess game 3 hours before the start.
Let me make this argument then. Let me make this argument. If you don't turn up for a tea time in golf, you lose. In professional snooker, maybe we're not talking about all forms of snooker, but certainly in professional snooker, you have to be there a half an hour before the match even starts. If you're not there half an hour before the match even starts, you lose. Now, you're saying that there should be some kind of leeway. I possibly might agree with that. But all I'm saying is that I think an hour for someone to wait around, not knowing whether their opponent's going to turn up, is too much. And I think it's unfair. If you don't turn up for your exams, you lose. Right? You basically...
You actually don't know. You don't. You can be late to an exam. Basically, if you're going to be late to the exam, you can phone them up and say, I'm not going to make it on time because of blah, blah, blah. They say, okay, that's fine. And then they basically, like, you're not allowed to get public transport. You have to get driven there. And then they put you in a separate room and then look at the start time. And you can still have the full allowed time for the exam, but you do it in a separate room. And I've had friends that have done that. As long as you're there before the exam officially finishes, you can do it. So, and that's like official A levels.
But the point I would make is, that's different because you're not affected. But in chess,
but can you not see it's the same thing, right?
If you're at an exam, Zoe, you'd have to wait. You'd have to wait for somebody to turn up.
Right, Danny. The difference with snooker and golf, right? With snooker and golf, the reason you have to have that default is because they have a schedule where other people have to use that same equipment, right? Yeah. You only have one golf course. You only have like however many snooker tables. You can't be waiting around for hours because you're delaying future games. Whereas you have enough chess sets, you're not needing someone else to use that same chess set. It doesn't affect anything.
Yeah, but I think it affects the opponent.
And it's your own clock that's running down. You don't have a clock for golf and snooker.
Your pride to start at that point. In athletics, you have to start at that time.
You just have to think about the fact that your opponent's going to be psychologically way more stressed than you are, and that it's a good opportunity to absolutely crush them with the chess.
Often people will deliberately turn up late.
Only like 5 minutes. They won't turn up half an hour late deliberately. If they do, then they're absolutely stupid.
I might start doing that. Just to annoy people.
In
Europeans, they had a rule that you weren't allowed to make a move unless like more than half of your team had shown up at the board.
You know, I wanted to say something that if
But that's
the game,
ridiculous. Well,
if the game is on a digital board and it's the playing venue and the hotel are the same, like the 4NCL, the guy
Yeah.
could be on chess 24 in his room.
No,
see
that's
your
against the
move,
rules.
You play e4, and then that guy expects that you had played d4. He prepares e4. He comes, I don't know, 10 minutes late, but he's had his preparation and he knows your
yeah,
first move.
people do that all the time. Somebody was telling me about, it was actually the Scarborough Congress.
No, you're
It was
not
one of
allowed
the
to do
players.
that. That is against the rules.
No, I know it's
Oh.
not. Yeah,
You're
it's
not
wrong.
allowed to look at anything chess related
Yeah, but how
whatsoever
can they
after the
enforce
start
it? How can
time.
they enforce it? Because they don't know.
But if
what
they're
you're
in his
doing.
room, how are they going to find out that he's in his room? He can
Exactly.
do
How are
what
they
he
going to
wants.
enforce it? It might be against the rules, but there's no way they can enforce it. I heard about a player, Jonathan Hawkins was telling me it was a player at the Scarborough Congress, and he would always turn up late for his games. I'm not going to name who it was. And apparently there was one game where he was paired against this player, Hawkins, and he went out for a walk, and he went outside, and he saw that this guy was in his car, and he was checking the computer. So, you know, I mean, obviously you're only looking at one move, aren't you? So it's different. But
Yeah,
it's
so
still
I'm
very,
having
very
a
possible.
serious argument with this thing on my head. I'm Christmas related. I think I should automatically win every argument with this on my head. Also, I think Danny shouldn't be allowed to argue with me.
I think we're both quite argumentative people, and we're
You
both
just
quite.
don't let me get a word in.
No, sorry, I apologise, but I'm very, very.
I feel bad for Nick here.
Maybe if I also appear when you guys commentate, then I can keep the balance. Or
when
something.
when you've got an ego as big as me, you certainly don't allow someone like Nick to talk, and you might occasionally allow the host to talk. But
So-
you definitely don't allow other people to
I'm
talk.
interested in what chat was saying though.
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah.
said that their phone went off in a game and they resigned, and then they just finished the game because they'd both travelled and were enjoying the game, which I think is quite interesting.
You know, one time I was maybe late to an exam in third year, and I was like 3 or 4 minutes late, so I had 3 or 4 minutes less, but I passed anyway. It was too easy, so yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, what about you're allowed to be late, but you have to give a legit reason for being late, and you can send a screenshot of your motorway.
Well, the thing
your
is,
train.
I was annoyed because, you know, I get annoyed by this lateness. I get too easily affected by it, which is stupid. Because actually, you're right. It actually favours you, and it favoured me in the game because my opponent, when he did eventually turn up, so he turned up 32 minutes late. Right, he sat down on board, and I started having to go at him. I started saying, "Why are you late for the game?" You know. Which is out of order on my part, right? And he's a nice guy. I chatted to him after the game. He's a really nice guy. I didn't realise, you know. I thought
You just assume that
I thought it was
everyone's
just somebody who
nasty.
was in the hotel and just decided just to annoy me by turning up late, you know, in my paranoia. And the reason he gave, he said, I went to the wrong venue, and I believed him, you know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who will deliberately turn up late, and I think these are the people that need to get prevented from doing so. And there should be some, if you're consistently late for games, I think there should be some kind of punishment where you eventually get default. You get a warning. So if you're, say, 15 minutes late for a game, and then you do it again the next round, at that point you should get a warning. If you do it again for the third time, then you end up getting defaulted. So I think they could. I think they could very easily tighten up this rule, and you wouldn't necessarily have to be 0 tolerance. It could just be some kind of like card system, like red card or yellow card for people who are consistently late. And that
Also,
would
if
put
they
people-
if someone's late for a game, they take a note of your name and how late you are, and then
Yeah.
ask you why you're late.
But you would ask the arbiters and very easily notice, and some of these are quite high profile players, and they could very easily notice who the players who are doing this, and then take note of their names, and then you could issue them a gentle warning, like.
But you could even, after the start time, if someone tries to come through the door, take their name, board,
Exactly, and then
ask them why they're late. Yeah.
And issue them with a warning and say, if you do it again, I'm afraid we're going to have to default you, and that would stop. In my opinion, that would stop people
Well,
who.
I don't think it can just be twice the default, because as I said, when you're relying on public transport or you're relying even on a car and a motorway, Like,
Yeah.
you can't guarantee getting there on time, even when you allow plenty of time.
Well, okay, if you can't, but if you've done it more than once, then I think, you know, it's starting to look like it's not a coincidence.
But I'm
right?
saying, could it not be like proof, for example, if you could, because if your train's late, there'll be proof somewhere. You could screenshot and show proof, or if
Yeah, but a lot of times
if there's an
people are late.
accident,
Yeah.
But if you can show proof of like
Oh no, I
something
don't,
like that,
I don't
can
disagree.
it then not count as a warning?
I don't disagree, but the point is, a lot of people, they turn up late when they're in the hotel. You know, they're in the hotel. You know that you're in the same hotel. Why they turn up late? They're just doing it, just so, you know, to gain a psychological edge. That would be my argument. And I feel like in that situation, when people are deliberately late and they're doing it deliberately, then they should be issued with a warning. And if you do it again, then you lose the game. You know, as simple as. And it's not very difficult to enforce that rule.
Well, you would need consistency between tournaments. You'd need some kind of record on their like profile or whatever.
It does make it more complicated, but you either do that or you do zero tolerance. What I don't agree with is that people should be having to sit there for an hour and wait for their opponent. I personally think that's completely ridiculous.
Carlson was late consistently for a tournament earlier this year, and nothing got done. Interesting.
Well, he should have been disqualified, in my opinion. You know, I don't care if it's Carlson, whoever it is. You know, I think it's disrespectful to the opponents, and I think that it's something that they need to clean up. Now, Kazimjanov was the previous, not Kazimjanov, sorry, Iluzimov, Kurzan Iluzimov. He's a slightly dodgy character himself. And he was the former president of FIDE from Kalmykia. He created a chess city. And the reason why he introduced this zero tolerance rule was that he was doing a kind of presentation or something. Oh, there was some kind of, I don't know what it was, some kind of junior event where Karpov was the guest or something. Anyway, Karpov was late. And this really annoyed Iluzimov that he had to wait around for Karpov. And he basically decided, look, we're not going to do this anymore. We're going to introduce this zero tolerance rule. And he got demonized. And there were a lot of cases. There were cases where, for example, where there were like playoffs, and players would go out for a little break, and they'd come back like 20 seconds later after the round time, and they get default. And say, well, hang on, we just went for like a toilet break or like cigarette break or just get some food or something, you know. And I feel like that's not really applying common sense, right? Because you're there in the tournament hall. It's different. You're there in the tournament hall. The arbiters should apply common sense, right? But I feel like there's too much exploitation of that rule, and people are basically just deliberately being late. And Carlson probably does it to gain a psychological edge over his opponents as well.
Fischer used to as well.
But what I was trying to say is that the night before, the Friday night, I also had the same issue because there was the same hotel with the same name, the same postcode, and I went there and it told me, oh no, the other one. So like 15 minutes or 5 minutes.
Talking about lateness, I'll probably have to go fairly soon because I'm actually
I was just going to reply to Zoram's. Zoram said about in US events the pairings only got 5 minutes before the round, and many people go back to their rooms to prepare. And was asking about British tournaments. So the thing is, I think for FIDE rated stuff, there's some rule that's meant to be up like at least an hour before the game or something, in theory, as to whether it gets done. So like Foreign-CL, for example, the one that we were playing this weekend, it goes up 90 minutes before the game. And an absolute latest 60 minutes before the game. But if you read the rules, it says that if your team doesn't submit their team list in time and that delays the pairings, then you get fined as a team. So that was like Foreign-CL rules. So that they'll definitely be up in more than enough time for people to prepare. And then still get to the game on time. So that shouldn't be an issue for that. But people do have issue with getting to the venues because there are always random hotels in the middle of nowhere that are really difficult to access by public transport and really difficult to find on sat-navs. So yeah, maybe that's an inconvenience in their choice of... I'm still talking.
I'm doing my washing today. This is like my laundry day.
Okay, maybe that's...
Even grandmasters have to do their own washing.
Maybe that's an inconvenience in the choice of their venues and stuff. But if you just play random weekend tournaments, quite often, yeah, you're waiting. Sometimes you have to wait even till after the official start of the round for pairings if they had games that went on longer, because they don't leave much time between games. It's more difficult when you have multiple games in one day. So, for example, the Northumberland Congress that all three of us on here played in, actually, there were a couple of rounds where they didn't do the pairings. There was one they didn't do the pairings until like 20 minutes after the official start of the round or something. Was that the final round? I think it was that one. And everyone was waiting.
The final round, but there was a problem with chess results, they told me, so there was a serious reason.
Oh, yeah, they managed to accidentally delete the tournament from.
Yeah. The thing is,
It was a problem with the people inputting the stuff into chess results rather than a problem in chess results itself.
Exactly. But
exactly.
I always have something to complain about, Zoe. So that's my latest bugbear, is basically people turning up late for the games. But to be fair, I've done it myself, Like when we were at Scarborough, we were staying in the same hotel, right? And we were walking to the venue, which is quite a long
was a nightmare, that hour-long walk.
Yeah, the final day, we set off really early, and I was like, but you were like, I can't turn up late for the games, and I'm like, I don't really care,
This is the thing. You have a go at people being late, but you were going like, I don't care if we're late, it's fine. I was like, no, I'm not going to be late. I can't.
But I think it's quite a big difference between being like 10 or 15 minutes late and actually being quite a lot late. Like when
there's not that much difference between half an hour and 15.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. But the thing is, and I'm like, oh, I don't really care, Zoe, But you were like, no, we can't be late for the games. So it's funny that we're like having taken the opposite view.
No, I think like, I don't think people should be punished for being late.
So you're okay with your opponent being late, you just don't.
Yeah, because I used to find it psychologically annoying when they were late and I turned up, but it took me a while to realise that actually if they're late, it's only damaging them, not me. Yeah. So once I realised that, I was completely fine with it.
Yeah, for me, by far, the most annoying thing is if they don't turn up at all, because it's happened to me many, many times, like at least 10 times. And, you might travel for 2 hours in the rain and 2 hours back, you pay for petrol and all that. And they phone 10 minutes before and they say, sorry, I can't make it because I have work. I mean, yeah, that's the most annoying if they don't turn up at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I love it when they don't turn up. So basically, I was due to play Dargan in that same Northumbrian Masters. He was in that hotel, and he turned up 2 minutes after the default time. I claimed it. I was like, well, the thing what you don't want. I've had this before where people haven't have turned up late, and I've been offered the win, and I said no, I won't take it. I'll do the thing. I'll let the game go. And then I ended up losing because psychologically I've already claimed the win in my own mind, and it's very difficult to play the game. So now when I get the opportunity to, I always claim the win, because I feel like you don't want to have that doubt in your mind. You don't want to play the rest of the tournament knowing you could have won that game and you claim the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would always claim the game in that situation. So Dargan turned up. He's a nice guy. I think he did it deliberately because he didn't want to play me. I think he was in the hotel and he turned up, made some half-hearted effort to turn up like 2 minutes after the default time. He could have easily. He claimed afterwards that he was messaging the arbiters and trying to claim a buy and everything. But I think he could have easily just turned up and played, but he just didn't want to because he knew he would probably lose and then he would lose.
Trying to claim a buy after the pairings of.
How much rating would he lose if he lost from you? Like very little.
Well, he would hardly lose anything. He would lose maybe 1.2 or something.
I don't understand why you would try and claim a buy after the pairings have gone up. Good.
But anyway, yeah. So basically, I claimed the game, and he was okay with it. He was fine with it. But the thing is, I think the whole thing now, it kind of upsets me. It's just the randomness of it. You just don't know when your opponent's going to turn up, and you're completely in limbo, and it's psychologically, it's like mental torture. And I just feel like it shouldn't be allowed. Yeah, I noticed that in the World Championship as well, that there was Carlson was late, and it's arrogance, isn't it? Because Yeah,
but as you said yourself at Scarborough, you would have been fine with doing it.
That is true. So I'm being hypocritical.
To checkmate me here.
I'm being hypocritical.
Anyway, I think we should head off now because
Yeah, I'm really hungry. I've got to get some food.
And it's been really nice to have you guys here, though. It's been like about 3 hours now, which is insane because it was meant to be just 1 hour. But
yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah, it's been really
I'm
nice.
glad your health is better, Zoe, and I'm also very proud to have a sister like you now.
Yeah, I've got a lovely brother now. I prefer my brother to my dad. Sorry, Danny.
Okay.
You've got a brother and an evil dad.
Yeah, and then I'll get in touch with you about doing this whole family Friday thing and extending our family tree. I'm actually gonna make make a virtual family tree and put us all on it, and like we're gonna extend.
We should do a commentary on the World Championships as well, because I noticed actually I did commentary yesterday and I got about 12 viewers, and
yeah, the issue is because I'm playing this thing in London at the weekend. I'm getting a train back to Oxford tomorrow and then going to London all weekend. And then I'll be getting a train back to Durham on Monday.
Maybe the week after.
But yeah, maybe some point next week.
If the match is still going, we should do some commentary on it.
Yeah, because I think it could be great fun.
I think we get a lot of viewers, actually, yeah.
Right, I'm going to read Master Chess Dojo. Now, you seem quite optimistic at getting a lot of viewers. Right, we're going to read him. So guys, stick around for the raid and show lots of love to Master Chess Dojo. Should be good. Yeah. Come join this raid, guys. Be great fun. And yeah, thank you guys for anyone who's come along and watched today. Either directly on Twitch or through chess.com. It's been really nice having you here to watch Danny adopt a brother for me and to listen to me argue with Danny about chess politics again, which is a common occurrence. But obviously I'll have Danny back again, and hopefully I'll have Nick back again at some point as a special guest. It's been really nice having him here. And yeah, I don't know when I'll be back because I have got this English rapid play thing at the weekend. Might try and do some whatchamacallit, I don't know, YouTube instead if I don't have time, Twitch. But we'll see. Hopefully see you again soon. But bye for now.
Bye.
Yeah, it was a good job, Zoe. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah.